Rich.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, I gave him.
What's that under the tree?
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Tickle the balls, second polish the knob. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Tickle the huevos and polish the knob. Ay caramba. I wanna stick my wang up in this. I wanna give you a big pearl necklace. I wanna wish you a nice white Christmas from my scrotum, not my heart. Slap up and down on my feet of North Pole. I wanna jam it into your pie hole. Getting a knobber was always my goal ever since the very start. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, yo quiero pinga en tu boca. That's Spanish. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Te quiero second polish the knob. I wanna stick my wang up in this. I wanna give you a big pearl necklace. I wanna wish you a nice white Christmas from my scrotum, not my heart. Oh, you rich. Stop up and down on my feet at the North Pole. I wanna jam it into your pie hole. Getting a knobber was always my goal ever since the very start. Feliz Navidad, everybody. Navidad for everybody. What's that under the tree? A knobber. We are Tickle Sack. Thank you. Thank you.
Covino and Rich.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Oh, put that cookie down now. Oh, my God.
I'm looking for miracle trees. Miracle trees.
Merry Christmas, little Timmy. Merry Christmas, little Timmy. Merry Christmas.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Everybody. Feliz Navidad, everybody.
Covino and Rich.
Holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. And happy holidays. What a beautiful way to start the day. A live Tickle Sack performance on this hump day, Covino and Rich. Tickle Sack, brand new. Mike Durr Band limited edition Tickle Sack t-shirts available for your holidays. Ooh. Shout out to Nick DeRico, handsome Gabe, so handsome. So is Nick. And of course, the handsome Greg Mercer, honorary members of Tickle Sack. Thank you guys for all your support throughout the years. I think the holiday season has officially begun.
Oh, no doubt. You hear Tickle Sack, you hear Feliz Navidad, and it is on.
Sports, entertainment, and life, and we be rocking out.
Rolando,
Rocking out in my denim jacket.
Cliff, Nathan, Stefano,
Rocking out in my
Lisa.
denim jacket, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Kenneth, who already pointed out your sweet shape up.
Yeah, it's a little high and tight, though. Not as tight as my jeans today, but it's a high and
A
tight
little too Kim Jong-unish.
fade. No, that's called a fade.
So festive.
You know, it's a tight fade.
Yeah, but you just said a little too tight, so I said a little Kim Jong-unish because he's got the
that's
tightest
super
face.
nice.
He don't have a fade. He's got like a fucking line in his head, that guy. He just got like, you know, he's
Yeah,
got
they
like,
just like trace around.
that guy sucks. There's nothing like that. But it's funny. I'll give you that. I'll give you that
Do
bit.
this. They just trace around.
By the
He's
way,
fine.
have
I don't like
we-
the red Covino and Rich neon. Sorry to.
What don't you like about
It
it?
just blends in too much.
Rich
Yeah.
wanted red.
I know it's festive.
Oh,
and
no,
all.
then we said white. We said white was classy.
If you're not watching,
hold
we
on.
have a neon light, a Covino and Rich neon light spot. It has it on red, but it's like deep red, like bloody red. It's not like
Yeah.
Christmas red.
It's like someone stabbed a reindeer.
yeah. We need, I don't know, white, something classy. Don't you want the classy Christmas
Yeah, don't
lights?
you want people to be like, look at their lights.
Yeah.
They're classy.
These settings.
Yeah.
There you go, Spot. There
There
you
it
go. Perfect.
is.
Now you're talking.
Spot's live from his log cabin. We're live from the West Coast. Hope you had a great Tuesday night. Hope you enjoyed whatever you were watching, whatever you did. We caught up with a pal by the name of Narzan.
Oh, let me see if Narzcam works.
Narzcam? Does Narzcam
There's a
work?
Narzcam?
Is he ready for
Let me
the
see.
Narzcam?
I got to see if Narzcam works. Hold on.
Remember, this is not just a
I
show.
haven't tried it yet.
It's a family. It's a movement. And we met Narzan along the way. Narzan, the king of the oil patches from Canada. And yeah, at first he was a listener of our show. Now he's a pal, and he's here hanging out. And we caught up for drinks. But it had been 2 years. 2 years since we hung out, which is fucking nuts.
Let's see. Is Narzcam
Speaking
working?
of nuts,
No,
happy to be
Narzcam
here.
is not working.
Narzcam
Sorry.
not working?
Narzcam not working. Let
Man,
me figure it
Spot.
out.
That's
I'll
all
get back
good.
to it.
Man.
You know what? Before we even get to our night last night, Covino and I and Nars had some drinks, had some great, deep, awesome conversations. It was nice to get out and about with old school friends. I told you.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, it's over. Yesterday, Sarah was on her way back to Los Angeles from Texas. And Covino was kind enough to lend me his car for 2 days. So Covino had taken his car back.
Spot, he put no gas in it.
Are you
He
serious?
left me with an empty tank.
That's
You
such
believe
a
this guy?
shitty move.
Mr. Courtesy Pants.
That's such a shitty move.
I left him with 30 miles. He gave it to me with 8 miles. So
Yeah, but it was
No, there's a rule.
I know.
It's man rule.
Man rule.
Man rule is
Man rule.
Man rule is anytime you borrow someone's car, you leave it with a fucking full tank of gas.
You're not my wife. I'm not going to give you the
That
car
being said-
with a full tank.
That rule was probably made in the 50s when gas cost 30 cents or 5 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Now it's like $1,000 a gallon.
By the way,
here in
I'm
California.
straight up just busting balls. I don't give a diddly do.
Should have left you with a little
Because
bit.
I totally forgot. I was driving around. I'm like, oh, that's right. Covino's taking his car back.
No,
but
I
I
don't
left you with,
I
I
just
left
wanna
you with
say-
enough to get home at least.
At this stage of the relationship, he didn't need to fill my tank.
I would
or
always,
even,
I
even
would,
give me
I would always fill up Rich's tank because he let me borrow his car. I always fill up your tank when you let me borrow your car.
tanks.
Just saying.
Yo, thanks, Spot.
Just saying.
So
Class stand up guy.
Covino, takes his car back yesterday, and I appreciate that, buddy. It's all good.
All good in the hood.
So
Ain't no thing but a chicken
Sarah
wing.
hadn't come home until last night. So all afternoon I had no car, which is no big deal. But it was very important for me yesterday to go to the gym. You know when you have like a checklist of things you need to do and like how you want to get back on track and everything. So yesterday I had a list of bills I wanted to pay, things I wanted to take care of. Know what I had to pay yesterday, which stinks? Taxes.
It's the worst part of the game.
The worst.
Not like annual income taxes. Like here in LA, if your home is over a certain amount, this is not a brag, by the way. If your house is a certain amount of money out here, no, they don't lump your taxes in with your mortgage payment. So like twice a year, you get like a fucking absurd bill. Like, hey, it's that time. And it was, I've only owned this house for a year now. So it was my first payment because the first one was lumped into the closing.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's this in the mail? Oh, taxes. But the only bright side of living in Los Angeles when it comes to taxes,
Mr. Brightside.
This guy.
the only shining light is that in Los Angeles, your taxes never change, which is the only benefit of Los Angeles and California real estate. Because when people do the comparisons around the country,
Do I have to pay extra for the home invasion bandits or no? No?
the wet bandits,
That
since
part,
it is the
that's just
holiday
part of
season.
the LA bonus?
So
You get that for free.
Sweet.
no, so yeah, it's weird because everywhere I've lived before that, if you owned a place, everything, insurance, taxes, everything's linked into that one.
Do the hobos in all the tents on the corner of every street, do they pay taxes?
Dirty Mike and the boys?
Yeah.
Taxes.
Dirty Mike and the boys don't pay taxes.
You know you love it.
Dirty Mike and the boys do not. They no.
What are the taxes for the?
What's up, Hobo Williams?
What
Good
are the
morning.
taxes for the Van Nuys exit? Are they more than the Woodman exit or the Topanga exit?
The point is, nothing against the homeless. The point is, LA is doo-doo pie right now. It is the worst. I want out
I
of here.
don't
At what
see
point
it.
do you
I
say,
don't
I'm
see it at
packing up
all.
and getting out of this place?
Come this way.
Fucking sucks, dude.
Come
I don't know
this
what
way.
planet you're living on. LA stinks. You're not getting, you know why? Because Rich is so oblivious. He doesn't get alerts. You don't know about all the crime
he doesn't
going
get
on.
the alerts.
And that's actually good on you, Rich. I tell my parents every day,
I fucking love it
stop
out here.
watching the news. Stop watching the news.
Well, if you want to move,
Stop what? They're so angry and fired up all the time. And I'm like, well, stop watching the news. I gotta shut off all my Ring alerts and all my neighborhood watch. What's it called? What's that neighborhood app?
Citizen.
Whatever one.
Ring?
No, the neighborhood one.
Citizen.
No, the dude from Shark Tank.
Oh, neighborhood.
Gotta shut off all
Ring.
those alerts.
Neighborhood. Ring.
Because there's a crime going on at every street corner in my neighborhood, and I'm supposed to live in a nice neighborhood. It's crazy. I'm going to shut off. I'm going to live the Rich Davis life. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like
Home Invasion Bandits, L.A. Never heard of it.
I really have no clue what you're talking about, because if you're
Smash and
not on,
grab, I don't know.
if you're not on apps and you live in a quiet area, Next Door is the app
You're in
thinking
your own
about?
little bubble.
Next Door.
I live in the mean streets
Next
of
Door,
LA.
that's
You thinking
it.
of
Next Door. Yeah, thanks, Spot, for the assist.
As you said, the neighborhood app.
Yeah.
Thank you, Next Door app.
Yeah, I don't
Thank
know.
you.
You know, call me naive. Then I'm just not all about it. In my mind, I'm like,
So you're oblivious and unaware of all the crime that's going on in LA right now.
Oh,
Do you not watch the news? You do
I
not
don't watch
get
the news.
alerts?
I don't watch
Do you
the
not have
news.
social media? How in the world? There's people that don't live in LA that are aware of this. How are you unaware of
I
that?
don't know what you want me to tell you.
Okay, well, like,
I
hey,
installed home
props
security.
to Rich.
I feel safe where I am. I lock up, I secure shit, and I'm home. I mean, I don't watch the 11 o'clock p.m. news, and I don't look at app updates all day about the crime in the county. 'Cause
I don't. I just get the alerts.
That's everywhere.
When
though.
you
Like,
install your Ring or
dude,
whatever you
I,
got, you're going to get them.
I
you're gonna
talked
get 'em
to,
nonstop.
You're going to get them nonstop.
Actually, well, no, you'll get a lot of fireworks or gunshots alert.
I'll talk
Gunshot.
to.
Did you hear that?
It's probably fireworks.
There's helicopters all over LA. What's going on? Anybody know?
Yeah, that's all.
I saw a dead guy in the corner of Van Nuys.
This is the land of busybodies
Yeah.
out here. It's even worse
worst.
out here.
I think I saw some home invasion bandits on the way home. Hey, I got a new family of homeless people outside my door. What's the deal? You don't get these alerts? I get them every 5 minutes.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
But I hear from friends in New York that live in Manhattan that there's certain areas that even where I used to live went south real quick.
I just hope it gets better. This wasn't the LA we moved to or I was a part of 12 years ago when I started to dabble on the west side. But anyway, go ahead, continue. Carry on. The weather's beautiful. The landscape is beautiful. The sunsets are beautiful.
Listen, let me give me one more year, and then if you want to move to some random place, we'll do it.
No. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, well, then-
until my kid's at least 18. But
Well, if you want to move somewhere, let me have this house for 2 years so that I could at least not have to pay. What do you call it?
you said to pay. But think about it.
What,
Think
those
about your
extra
taxes.
taxes?
Paying taxes.
My taxes are low
This place is going to shit.
compared to New York.
What's that expression in a handbasket that your parents would say?
Going to shit in it.
Like something in a handbasket.
Hell in a handbasket.
Hell in a hand.
Hell in a hand. Well, I don't even know what that means. Hell in a handbasket.
Did you see in New York they torched like a Christmas tree outside the Fox building? Like, no city's great right now.
Bro, I think you're turning a blind eye because you're in your happy bubble of a new home. And good for you, honestly. I'm not trying to bring you down.
So are you
Spot,
on constant alert?
Is he not
He's
aware?
not,
You're
no.
so
Oh,
fucking
here.
unaware right
I
now.
also do live
I have
25
people
minutes
that
away
don't
from
even
you.
live
No,
here that are like, yo,
no.
man, are you okay? I keep hearing about all the crime in LA. And you're here and you're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
I also don't live. Maybe it's neighborhood to neighborhood. I don't know. I'm not hearing anything. But then again, what am I hearing? You know.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not making it up.
All right.
You know, I've been here for, again, back and forth, 12 years now. This is the worst I've ever seen it. So when you're talking about taxes, I'm like, taxes for what? Where's my tax money going? Where's my tax money going? Where's my HOA
Yeah,
fee
that's-
money
that's
going?
the,
I'm not seeing any upgrades or updates. I'm seeing this shit going to hell in a handbasket. That's what I'm seeing.
Crime is everywhere. It's social media amplifying it. I agree, Mauser. I feel
That's
like
true.
it's always been the case.
You agree with this, bozo?
I
What do you
feel
agree
like
with?
there's always
Come
been
to LA,
like.
bro, and talk to me. Yeah, on your fucking 12-acre farm with no neighbors. Come out here and see how safe you feel. 'Cause I don't feel fucking safe at all. Guy lives on Mauser Road. It's him on the street. That's
Because
it.
his uncle like founded the town.
Yeah, it's way
I
different
live
here.
in Mauser, Kentucky.
Way
wow,
different.
that's crazy. Yeah, my
Him
whole
on the
life.
street.
Way different. Way different.
Yeah, it is.
I don't
true.
feel
It's
as safe
like-
as I used to.
It's like every 5 minutes. It's like man stabbed on the corner of Van Nuys and
All
Hazeltine,
in this area,
or
and all
Van Nuys and
because
Ventura.
of the, they're just ticking
Armed-
people. They're not-
armed suspect
Unless you
that-
like hurt someone, they give you a fine. You can
is-
rob whoever the fuck you want, as long as you don't like hurt anybody and put their life in jeopardy. You're like free to go. Hey, we just set you with a fine. You could fucking like, you could straight up just rob somebody, and they're just going to slap you on the wrist. That's why the crime rate is up. You're oblivious to this?
I already said yes. What do you want me to say?
Look,
I find it absurd that you have like,
I don't want to know anything, and I don't want to hear about it.
you know what? Like I said,
yeah,
the same way
is bliss.
The same way I
don't
tell my
watch it.
parents, stop watching the news.
Like
You'll be happier.
Sarah's mom.
Yeah, I
Sarah's
agree.
mom in Texas.
You got it right, Rich. I'm
Sarah's
serious.
mom in Texas sits down and watches like the 6 p.m. like local San Antonio news, and it's always like terrible local stories. Like there was a fire at a mom and pop shop.
You got to stay informed.
They're not arresting these criminals.
I read.
That's the problem.
I'm reading shit all the time.
What are you reading?
Or they're not
What do
locking
you
them
mean?
up. Rich.
What are you reading, Spot?
Aren't you talking
The
prison later?
news.
Yeah, but what? Do you want to know about the local shop that burned down? And local kid got sick, and
I feel like the local shop burning down has more effect on my life than fucking what Tom Brady ate for breakfast.
I want to know what the family of ducks are doing. Did the little one get out of the little sewer grate? I want to know.
What fucking Aaron Rodgers' toe feels like today.
You notice how Spot went back to red as like spite.
I was trying it
I thought we were
out.
classing it up with the white light.
I was trying it out. This is a little bit more of a
I like
softer
it. You know,
red.
it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice.
Who said that? Joel Torres. What's up, Joel? He's right. When you got the eye of the vato, like I do, you see all the potential crime that's about to happen.
Look,
and
stolen
you never
FedEx.
feel good. It's
Guys
constant.
walking up my driveway. Guy looking inside my vehicle. Trespassing.
Rich,
Car broken
in other
into.
words, if someone came up to
Power.
you and fucking robbed you, right? They used to like put you in jail, lock you up for a little bit, whatever, right? You get out on bail. Now, if you didn't hurt anybody, they're not really considering it a dangerous crime. So you get a fine, you're free to go. And this is just going on left and right, especially around the holidays. People walking around with bags.
You
The
should
home
run-
invasion bandits. You didn't see the clip of the guy who just followed the woman in with the stroller? You didn't see that clip.
No.
My goodness.
I have a question. Are you
It makes you be aware.
He's
So
got
you
it
gotta know.
right. But then again,
You gotta know what's
you got to
happening.
be on guard.
Yeah.
Covino for sheriff 2022? You should run
It's
for
not sheriff.
Sheriff.
I live here. I can tell you
is my
what my
home.
eyes see. It sucks. It's not like fucking sunshine and rainbows. It's not.
Like, don't you want to know that at a certain time of day that your supermarket's getting robbed, so you know to avoid it at that time of day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, anyway, I don't want to harp on it. Taxes. You bring it
Taxes!
up, and I'm thinking, well, where's my tax money going?
Well, I think it's the one good thing about Los Angeles as far as prices go. Like, very expensive to live here, but you lock into your taxes. Seems absurd to me. That's your tax rate forever.
Till they change the rules on you.
No, they can't.
Who says?
Until they pass a bill. Mm-hmm. Read about that on your next door app.
Like
I was thinking about that.
the
Rich.
person that lived here before me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they paid annually for taxes? $600.
Really?
Because they bought this house 60 years ago. And your tax rate is locked in from when you purchase. So in 20, 30, 40 years from now, if I'm still here, who knows? If I'm still in this house, I'll be paying a minuscule amount in the big picture, right? Like, I have friends on Long Island where I'm like, what are you paying out there? I pay like $20-something thousand a year taxes. It's wild to me. I'm like, you pay a couple grand a month in taxes? Taxes. All right, that's old people conversation, but taxes.
I think the worst part of your story is thinking it was going to be something good, and you open it up, and it's like, oh.
I was like, ooh, what's this letter?
Ooh, here's a check. Could be a check. Ooh.
Ooh, is there too much? Is there too much of my escrow? Are they giving me money back? What is?
You get checks from Fox Sports, and
Yeah.
sometimes, hey, you overpaid. The best is like, hey, you overpaid on your insurance, and you get like a
Oh,
few
here's a
hundred bucks.
$480 check. So yeah, your Geico's giving you money back.
You know, those are life's little victories.
The government never sends you checks.
Yeah, when you open it up and it says like, this is a bill, and you're like, fuck.
Casinos are getting robbed in Vegas, Covino. That's how LA is going. I'm sorry, that's how Vegas is going.
Yeah. That damn Danny Ocean's at it again.
All right, well, let me tell you about my little adventure yesterday. I mean, now I'm thinking, should I even have done this in the mean streets of the
Dude,
San Fernando Valley?
you don't live in the barrios like I do.
Yeah.
You live in Sherman
Oh,
Oaks,
is
where
that-
the average house is $1.5
Yeah,
million.
you know what? It's a lot of fucking people overpaying for their house.
Is that why you couldn't go to the gas station? You were afraid of getting mugged?
Yes, I was like, I would fill up Covino's car, but I couldn't find a full service. I couldn't risk getting out of my vehicle.
That is the scariest. You got to look over both shoulders.
You're living
Before
a
you fill
better.
up.
You're living a. You know what?
Got to watch out at the ATM machines too, man. There's fucking criminals everywhere.
What are you doing at an ATM machine?
If you need money, if you need cash, For a happy ending massage or, standard things you need cash for.
Standard things you need cash for,
Yeah. Got to watch out.
So yesterday, Covino takes his car back. And by the way, if you ever borrow someone's car, even if you don't do it, I think you have to clean their floor mats before you give it back.
No.
Because it's like if there's pebbles or leaves on their floor mat, you never want them to think you're the one that like dirtied and sullied up their car. So I was like, all right, let me just at least get the floor mats.
Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
I once got in my car and Sully was actually on my floor mat.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Sully?
Narzan left.
Sully.
By the way,
Godsmack or the pilot?
I got Narzcam working.
Hey, nice cam. Look at the bulge on this guy.
Bulge.
Great angle. That's the bulge cam.
Sorry, it's
bulge cam. Are you trying to compete with me, bro? Are you trying to compete?
Bulge cam.
Bulge cam.
Whoa.
You're trying to bring the heat. Let's go. You're talking to the sack man.
Which pants are you wearing today?
You must have missed yesterday's show, bro. I wasn't wearing those again.
Oh, you're wearing regular pants today? Those are never coming here again.
Covino's full denim today. Are you wearing denim underwear too?
What am I supposed to wear? Jogging pants?
He's wearing metal underwear.
Hey,
I'm wearing gray sweatpants. It's the season.
what do you wear with a denim jacket? Fucking slacks? Hey, listen, I got a theory on my nuts. I'm going to explain later.
Okay, theory on your nuts.
On my camel nuts.
All right, let me finish my quick theory, and then
Camel
we'll
nut
move
theory.
on. We have a lot of fun to get to today.
Camel nut update.
I thought yesterday was one of our more fun shows. We're back in our groove. Everyone's feeling good again, even though, Covino, you said last night you still got a little bit of COVID brain going on.
Oh, big time.
But-
I count my missteps. I give myself 3 missteps a day. I'm like, oh, there's one.
I agree.
2 more.
Vic agrees. You always want to return something a little cleaner than when you borrowed it. Because you never want the person to think, if someone has a couple crumbs in their console, you never want them to think you're the one that put the crumbs there. So you're like, oh, let me just look at these crumbs now.
Look at it this way. I'm supposed to return my car in February, like for good. I kept it an extra year. 4 years. This is the longest I ever had any car in my life.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, I kept it another year. It's the Honda Civic charcoal gray.
Charcoal.
2018. And it's almost the new year. When you're winding down on anything, you stop giving a shit a little bit. So I don't care.
No, and you're thinking like fucking put miles on because
I'm like crumbs. I don't
you're
give a
like
fuck.
if you're under miles, you're like where could I drive?
Yeah.
If gas wasn't so damn expensive. All right, so
You hand my car back.
I'd say long story short, but I didn't even get to the story yet.
Way too late.
We're just having too much fun riffing.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, man, but honestly, when you bring up your taxes and how much you're paying for taxes and how much I'm paying for taxes, to live in a place that's going to shit, and I believe it'll come back
In a handbasket.
because I do love California. I've never been the type of guy to hate on California. I was the guy to promote it and sell it and hope that everyone came out here.
Yeah,
trying to get my parents out here. You know, it's just disappointing. It's not the same place that I was
said-
all excited
no,
about.
Like I
12
said,
years
I
ago.
said wait another year before you do
Yeah,
anything.
no. I'm wishing good things.
I just think you're now you're aware. Like
I don't know, bro.
you were never this aware. You were never this connected. There was shit going on around you all the time.
I see it
All
probably.
the time.
With my eyes,
Now you just see it on your apps.
So my car.
Yeah, it's so I give Covino's car back. So I don't have a car in the afternoon. And part of my like to-do list, besides paying bills and taxes and all these things I had to handle, I wanted to go to the gym. I said my priority is like I gotta get back to the gym. I'm feeling better again. My shoulder was hurting. I couldn't really do much. So I was like, let me get back to the gym.
Go to Spots Gym. Available at shop.covinorich.com.
I wish there was a Spots gym. Because the gym I went to, I think it stinks, but it's the closest one. The 24-hour fitness closest to me stinks. I know. I should go a little further. There's a nicer one. I get
Oh,
it.
that's actually a nice one. I went there the other day. I like that one.
Well, anyway,
It has everything I need.
the one I go to is 2 miles away. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna fucking walk it.
It's a decent jog.
And you go somewhere and then you're like, is it worth walking all that way? I'm like, is that exercise in itself? Like, I walk 2 miles to go to the gym. So does that mean I don't have to do cardio when I get to the gym?
It's like a 35-minute walk. No.
Exactly, Spot. It was 35 minutes. Exactly.
That's that gets your steps in. That's like 7,000 steps.
You know what bothers me about you though?
What?
I bet you didn't bring headphones.
For what, my walk?
Mm-hmm.
No, I made a couple phone calls. I talked to my dad. I made it. He said, that's time we could catch up with people.
That's good. Okay.
35-minute walk.
You're off the hook.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I get to the gym, do a
You
workout.
should have jogged there. That's like 15 minutes on a 5.5.
And I realized on my way home, it was a $6 Uber. So I was like, why did I not fucking Uber here? $6. Then I'm thinking like, what are the side hustles that you would want to do?
Well, you Ubered because you bought groceries on
yeah,
the
I
way
did
back.
the supermarket's next to the gym, and I need to get coffee creamer for this morning and a couple things. So I'm like, well, I don't want to walk home 40 minutes with like perishables in LA. And a hobo might steal my coffee creamer. You better believe it. Go to your guy there, young man. Nothing. Coffee creamer taken.
You didn't even get the right creamer.
Put your hands up.
All I have is milk.
I'll take whatever you get.
I have a holiday creamer. It's an elf cookies and cream.
Put your hands up.
I always think about that. I'm never walking around with anything of value. So if I get like mugged, I'm like, oh, what do you want?
You ever
My
watch those
phone-
videos
my
on
phone?
TikTok
No,
where it's like if someone holds a knife or a gun, never lean in towards them, like immediately go to the side and like push their weapon like sideways. Like a lot of people's mistake is they charge at someone. Like if they're trying to protect themselves, they go at the person. If you go at the person, they're going to shoot you or stab you. If you try to like go,
I love those
if you
videos.
like matrix them.
I got the Steven Seagal DVD on how to, fight crime.
I love those videos on social media where it's like, reality or Instagram versus reality, and people are disarming other people, and then a real person tries to disarm someone, and then they just get shot.
You ever see the old guy that sits there in a chair and he's just like slapping people away? You ever see that? There's like attackers coming. He's old and he's like, wow.
Yeah.
Seriously, Spot. It's worth the play if you could find it. If you could find that. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it's really funny because this guy has like mad Bruce Lee skills. So continue.
So
you
I
took
do.
the
I
Uber
get
back.
self-defense tips on TikTok from law enforcement. I do.
Bill Jackson, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Is that not a good place?
You got to watch the old guy though on YouTube. Great instructional on how to fight off invaders.
So as I'm hanging with this Uber guy for fucking 3 minutes, it's a 3-minute drive, but like I said, it's like a 40-minute walk, but like no joke, a 3 to 5 minute drive.
Is it a guy using a rolled up magazine for self-defense?
It's an old guy who could barely move. I think he's in a wheelchair, but he's in a chair. People are attacking him one by one. He's like, hey, whoa. Is he
just
Asian?
Energy
Slapping.
Master.
Energy
There, by the way, there's a
How come Narzan knows what I'm talking about?
'Cause he's
Rich is
seen
like,
these
I've never
things."
seen it.
no. I've
Yeah, he waves him away.
I've
Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry. Continue, man. $6 Uber.
and I'm just chilling with this guy. I'm like, yeah, he made $6 plus a couple dollar tip. It took him 3 minutes, and I'm thinking, when it comes to side hustles, I know especially around the holidays, people are trying to make side money. And then last night, fast forward just a second, you and I met Narzan for some food and drinks at a really cool bar that we don't go to enough.
It's called Swank.
It's called Swanky Swank HQ in Woodland Hills.
Don't give away our spots.
Why are you giving away our spot,
Yeah, man.
Oh, because all these people are going to come there to stalk you out the one time a year you go there?
Yeah.
Why are you giving away our spots?
It's like a cool, what would you call it? It's like a poppy rock. Like it's got like it has like a Hard Rock Cafe vibe to it.
Yeah.
But they got some cool memorabilia, but the menu's great. They got actually, the sushi wasn't bad. I was skeptical. I was like, yeah, sushi at a bar. It was good, Narzan, right?
You walk in like Billy Idol's playing. Hey, little sister, what have you done? Ooh.
It's got a cool vibe.
Menus are old record albums.
Yeah, I mean, we got everything from poutine fries to shishito peppers to sushi. Like we
Is this it?
No.
But this is a great one. You gotta watch this one.
let's
Hold
see this
on.
guy. All right.
Hold on.
Rich, you got to learn this.
All right.
You want this chair? I want the chair. Well, I didn't see you here before.
Y'all learn how to
I'm
protect
not
yourself.
going to get up. Wait. I'm charged.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
No, there's another one. It's like people keep coming at this guy one by one by one.
Oh, man.
That
This
was
is-
funny, Spot.
This is great.
By the way, Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill
By the
is
way, that-
almost unrealistically as funny. Remember in Hard to Kill when the guys have weapons and he puts down his gun and gets on his knees and he's like, "Come at me." Like Steven Seagal is absurd.
Remember when William Shatner fought that big giant lizard? He was like, "Ah."
Yeah, that was really great.
Yeah, that's where I get my training from. If people want to know where do I get my self-defense ideas? Steven Seagal, William Shatner, and TikTok. So I'm good.
Rich is ready.
I'm ready.
That's
Just
why
in
he
case.
doesn't worry about crime. He's
How
already
could I when I've been trained by Steven
Exactly.
Seagal virtually?
He's already trained for this. So yeah, we had a great time at Swanky Swank.
We went to the Swanky Swank bar, and I said to you guys while we were
Actually, want to know the weakest part of the story? Rich fast forwarded. Sorry, guys. He forgot to tell you about his perishables, and he forgot to tell you that I totally misstepped again. COVID brain.
I thought you were going to be mad, and I'm glad you weren't, because I was like, it's an oversight. During the day, we were speculating, where do you want to go?
Yeah, Rich suggested a place. I went to the place Rich suggested.
But Spot, he missed like 10 text messages from that point that
I was
told
sitting
where we were.
At another bar for an hour.
I even knew where you were.
Yeah. Rich goes, where are you?
You know, because Covino goes like this. Narzan and I are on
at
our
the
way.
bar.
And Covino's like, bro, I got the best spot at the bar. So we go to the bar, and the cute hostess is like, put two. We're like, no, we're meeting a friend, but he says he's got the best spot at the bar. And she joked like, oh, I wonder where people think that is. And we're looking around. She's like, well, your friend says he has the best spot. Is he here? And I call Covino. He's like, yo, I'm at the local peasant. Where you at? And I'm like, dude, we're not at the local peasant.
Gave away another good spot.
Yeah, I was at the local peasant anyway. So anyway, I was at the wrong place. And I was like, what the fuck? I just ordered another old fashioned. And I was like, I'm not going to let this $16 drink go to waste. And I had to down that real quick and then get to the place they were at.
And by the way, that's the worst feeling
and
that
I
happened
was,
to me.
you know, hanging out for an hour by myself at the wrong place. So yeah, I was a little aggravated.
that happened to me.
I was a little tight-faced when I walked in.
That happened to me
to
last
Swanky
time.
Swank.
That happened to me last time I was in New York. My buddy's like, meet me at the bar on the corner of, I don't know, 83rd and Broadway. And I went, there's two bars, and I picked the wrong one. And I literally just bought like a $12 drink. And he's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I was like, where? I don't see. He's like, I'm sitting down. We got a table. And you hate to do it because you're like, fuck, I'm not going to waste this drink. So you're like, all right, hold on. And you like,
I had to do that.
we've all done it.
COVID
We've all done
brain.
it. Spot, you ever do that where you order a drink and everyone's like, all right, we got the tab, we're leaving. And you're like, but I just.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
We've all done it. So
By the way, before you continue, I found the guy that you were talking about. Is this it? Hold on. Is this it?
Yeah, this guy's great. This is why.
well, if you want self-defense training,
Yeah.
look no further.
All right. Oh, the chest swap. Yeah, of course it makes you fall down. He touches the hip, touches the head,
at
and then
that.
falls.
He just touches you.
Oh, back swap. Yeah, that's the swap.
Look at this guy.
He doesn't even need to stand to do
Look at this guy.
right?
He's fucking people up.
And you go flying.
That guy can't even. The guy didn't stand a chance.
Basically, if you're not watching, it's this fat botchagaloop with sausage fingers, and people are coming at him, and all he's doing is sort of like waving at them, and they're all falling.
But that's very Seagal-like. Remember back in the day, Seagal would like lightly touch people and be like, oh.
I'm hoping to get that sort of energy one day.
Yeah, one day you will. Just keep
day you'll
practicing.
have
That
it.
Bruce Leroy type of shit. I'm gonna have an aura.
But
Anyway.
the guy I am talking about, like the serious one, you ever see the guy like within like 1 second disarms a guy and then has his gun? Where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
seen
my
a lot of
God, I
those.
love that guy. All right, so we're sitting there, and not to sound like a dick, but our bartender was such a dud.
He looked like Big Hoss from fucking Pawn Stars,
No, who he
which
looked
made me
like?
hate him more.
He looked like fucking Buzz from Home Alone.
Imagine Buzz from Home Alone, fuck Big Hoss. That's who he looked like.
And Spot.
He had a
and
weak
it's the
beard. He had
holiday-
the personality of a wet sock spot,
It's
as
the
you would
holiday
say.
season, and this guy,
And do.
he did. He had the
Read that.
personality of a wet sock where we were like, hey, what's up, man? And like in the most monotone, shitty voice, like, you guys need a bar menu?
Yeah, I'm like, is Chum Lee here? I prefer him.
We get the bar menu. We're looking around, and Covino says, hey, can I get a vodka soda? 2 seconds later, Covino's like, yo, my man, if you can.
Change that.
Change that. I just saw the drink menu. Can you give me that, the Moscow Mule thing?
No,
whatever?
it was a coconut one.
A coconut one.
I was like, coconut one. It was called
And
the
Spot-
Coco Beware.
The guy, without like any personality or anything, takes the vodka soda,
He sort of-
puts it in front of Covino and goes, sorry, I already made it. And walks away.
I was sort of denied. I'm like,
And I was
yeah,
like,
but
yo, that's like terrible customer service.
it was pretty weak, right?
Yeah.
You know what I thought he was going to do?
Say
I thought
this one's on the house.
Here's-
I'll go get your
I
drink.
swear to God, that's
which
what I
is
thought.
what the right move is.
Yeah. It was, you know, it's not
Sorry,
like...
I already made it.
You ever go to a restaurant?
Rich told the story perfectly. I was sort of shocked by that. I was like, yeah,
I think you've been over. I think you were in such a good mood that you were like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to let this bother me."
I was happy to see Narzan, but I knew that shit was weak. I did. I'm like, well, where's the other drink that I said I wanted?
You know what a good restaurant bartender or server will do, and John Taffer will even tell you this because the overhead is so little. You've been somewhere where you say, "Yo, how's the specialty drink or something?" And they'll say, "Listen, if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it." They'll say that, right? Like,
of course.
Like if Covino goes vodka soda and literally 5 seconds later goes, "Yo, my man, real quick, Can I apologize, but can I change my order? And the guy's like, already made it. And this isn't like some trucker bar, like a badass place where it's like you expect that like
No,
no
it's a
bullshit
sassy place.
Yeah, this is not like a no bullshit.
Like you're overpaying for drinks.
Yeah, it's like, oh sweet, okay, so I don't want this $10 vodka soda, but I'll have it so that I could then order your $15 Moscow Mule. Like,
It was weak. Big Hoss was a fucking dud. There's no question.
service workers are brazen as fuck sometimes. That's from Alejandro. But it got me thinking. The bigger question before we get into the fun of today's show, because I have a hypothetical.
I'm glad you noticed that, though. I didn't fucking make a deal of it because it would be so typical of me to A, be treated this way, and B, like make a deal about it in front of my friends who were just there for a good time. And I'm not going to be like, yo, Narzan, so great to see you. Hold on one second. What's up with that, man? You heard I asked for the coconut drink, dude.
Coconut drink.
You know, cause an issue, and now I'm in a bad mood, and I'm glad you noticed that because we hadn't even talked about it. But I noticed that shit. I'm like, Big Hoss, motherfucker.
Honestly, yeah. He gives you a little light pour of Tito's and soda. Like, that's hard to replace. What a fucking cocksucker.
I was so mad about it, but I put on a happy face.
But he's the type of guy also that, Narzan, you probably noticed this too, when we ordered apps, and I was like, hey man, can you add one more? Like add the Brussels sprouts to that. He gives me a look like I inconvenience him by ordering
you know
one
why,
more
though?
app.
Let's be fair. We never know what people are going through, right?
It's true, which is why you don't blow your cool.
Have you seen his girlfriend? Barf.
it was Buzz from Home Alone.
Yeah. So, you know, hey, it's not that big of a deal. It really
I
isn't.
agree, Lisa. That drink cost him 50 cents. He could have brought you a new one and said no.
Yeah,
worries.
and Rich is not exaggerating. I immediately, it felt like he just was going to the register. I'm like, hey, yeah, if you could switch it, man. I just saw something. Cool, thanks. Anyway, had a good time. Great laughs. You know it's a good night when you start off with laughs and catching up and talking about relationships and fun and good times and what's going on, and then it ends up like about religion and stuff. And you're like, wow, what we laughed, we cried, we talked about ass cheeks, and we talked about God. What a fucking night. High five.
Maybe you would have been
Bros.
served better if you got up on the stool, turned around, and did a squat.
Yeah,
showed him some truck nuts, and maybe you would have got some better service.
Like, yo, bro, that could be a fucking side gig. You said Uber? I could go up and show up at bars. Gentlemen, put up a little fucking how do you do? Like a little stand, step on it. Like, what's this guy doing?
and-
Feast your eyes and just start fucking
Doing squats.
And you know what, Joe?
Collect some tips.
To answer Joe's question on the in-show thread, do you tip less because of that attitude? No, it's a holiday season. Gave 20%, but you wanted to, but it's just not the right move. We've all worked in service. You know, the guy wasn't. He was just he wasn't cut out, in my opinion.
He should not have been a bartender.
He wasn't cut out to be a bartender at a cool place.
Imagine, I said he looked like Big Hoss. He had the personality of Big Hoss from Pawn Stars. If you ever watched that show,
how did he look?
They have to feed that dude lines because Chumlee is the scene stealer. That dude has no personality, much like our bartender.
I need a visual description. Young, old, handsome.
He looked like Buzz from Home Alone. Meets
really?
meets
Buzz
Big Hoss.
with like the thin,
and they have a love
with like
child.
the thin beard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the white guy with the thin beard that
Did
thinks
you
he's
try,
a
like-
vato, but he's not.
Did
Like,
you try like disarming him, like telling jokes, or
Dude, we were all laughs the whole time.
did you like
bringing
bring
good
him in,
vibes.
like, hey?
We were bringing good vibes. He wanted no part of us.
Like I started out by being friendly. And you know when you sit down at a bar and someone had eaten there before you, so there's a couple like chip remnants and circles from the drink cup. I was like, yo, hey man, I asked him, I said, yo, do you mind giving me a towel quick so I could just wipe this? And he's,
Oh, that was it. You set the tone.
no, I set the tone.
See, I didn't know
No,
this.
Narzan, you got it. Your mic's on.
Well, because I was there earlier scoping the place out, and
Yeah.
the girl that was bartending was great.
Talk close to
and then
it.
he replaced her right when I went to grab Rich. I was like, I'll be back with some friends. And then we came back and sat down. I was like, see, I brought friends. And he's like, yeah.
What's up, son?
Tell him to talk to close to his mouth.
Oh, you got to close to your mouth.
Oh, but that's the
Eat it.
worst. Narzan had like the beautiful, like hot chick bartender, and that guy comes to relieve her.
No, it's like that scene. Is it the scene in
weak.
Grown Ups or Grown Ups 2 where they think they're going to the bikini car wash and then they get the dudes?
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, that's a letdown.
Well, anyway, the whole point here was that we had a good night with Narzan. We'll get into some of that other stuff a little bit. Some deep thoughts today.
Did you get
But
the buffalo cauliflower?
we did not spot. We got so many appetizers. But sometimes I feel at a place that has a great app menu, sometimes a bunch of apps is better than an entree.
Did you get the giant soft pretzel?
No. Do you really want to know what we got?
Buffalo chicken lollipops.
He did.
All right, good. The sausage platter.
We got a lot of shit. Anyway, no one gives a shit what we ate.
I do.
But I was asking Covino and Nars.
I
was
got
saying,
two giant meatballs.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
That's what I got. I showed the world my nuts yesterday. So embarrassed.
What did you talk to Jordan about it?
She said, you want to know what she said?
I
No, let Rich finish the story
No,
because
it's
I have
fine.
an update.
My story's relevant now. We'll move on.
Really?
What did Jordan say?
So, yeah, to put a little happy holiday bow and wrap that story up. Had a good
That's
time
impossible.
catching up. We spent a lot of money on apps and overpriced drinks. But, hey, do you really give a fuck when you have a good time and when you enjoy it?
No.
Because I do not. I care when, I didn't like his service, but I liked the company. I didn't let him bother me. So I'm proud of myself there. But the worst is when you're overpaying and you really didn't enjoy the food
Or the company.
and it was just okay. When you have a good time, I never give a shit. That bill could have been, just with the three of us, could have been $600. I would have been like, had a good time. Fuck, what are you going to do?
I mean, like, I always think about how when you're old and gray and fucking an old man, hey, I'm old. Are you really going to be like regretting that you spent a couple $100 with your buddies? Or
No way.
These are the things.
I never can.
I feel, if you want my honest opinion, I feel like not just you, me, everyone. I think one of those things that you don't realize until you're probably way old like that, like if you make it, God willing, to 80, 90, 100, you probably think, man, I really stressed about stuff that I shouldn't have stressed about when I was younger. I bet you that's the number one thing. You know how people on their deathbed always say, I wish I spent more time with my family or didn't work so much or this. I bet you one of those things people regret is caring about things that really don't matter.
Yeah. Happens all the time. Like, I'll get a nice steak dinner sometimes, even like to take home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how good is this, Jordan? She's like, it's good, but it's so expensive. And I'm like, I do not care. I'm enjoying the shit out of this right now.
What happened? You fucking die tomorrow? You didn't have your steak? You know, it's...
and it's not because I'm balling or anything like that. I'm just saying the enjoyment of it supersedes anything that I paid. I don't care.
I know you might say it's an irresponsible attitude to have, but someone once told me, I don't know if it was someone like... See, that's the problem. Someone tells you something, it's a great quote. You don't know if someone dumb told you or someone really wise told you. Like, did Mr. Wonderful tell me this? Or did, like, the fucking hobo down the street tell me this? But someone once said, you know what you're never going to be? Like $1,000 or so shy of your dream home. Like, so don't sweat like the $100 here or there. Yes, it adds up, but, like, it's not going to be like, yo, Covino, because you went to dinner and drinks last night, say farewell to your dream house. Enjoy life, you know, like
At dinner last night, could I pay for some smart switches?
yeah, exactly.
Some Lutrons, bro.
Some Lutrons. You know what's
Just saying.
You know what's spot? I'm gonna get everything in this house. And
Well,
then, then I'm gonna.
you just complained that you they were too expensive.
I don't.
Yet you're saying you're never shy of your fucking dream home.
I'm so convinced. I'm so convinced that I can't wait till you buy a house.
I'm never buying a house, so get over it. Never having kids, never buying a house. So move on. Adjust how you see my life moving forward.
Jeez.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to just not keep going with that fucking thought?
That's some big
If
news.
you buy a house, a condo, a vacation place,
I'm not buying any.
I just want you to realize
I own
that
2 houses and I'm looking to
things
sell.
fucking add up so quick, and I feel like you have this mindset of like, well, just buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. Narzan on the Nars cam could relate because he just bought a place a year ago.
Oh, what a place.
And
Nars cam.
What a
Nars,
place.
grab the mic and put it close.
you're so handsome.
It's a beautiful place.
Nars, you and I
To
were,
your mouth,
you
like,
and I were
eat it.
talking about
Eat it. Yeah,
all
there
the
you go.
expenses and all the little. We were saying how every day you choose to do something on your home is a day you're not doing. You're not going to end up doing anything else. And for every day that you say, fuck it, I want to just go out and have fun and do something, that's one day you're not getting shit done. So owning a home and trying to get stuff done, not easy.
I'm a year in. I'm still working on it.
Yeah. It's really tough. It's not just so easy to be like, oh, just get it done. Put
And
everything in.
it's a
Buy everything. Do everything.
never-ending process, too.
Never
I mean,
ends.
my parents have lived in their home for, 30-something years now.
They're always working.
Every weekend, they're doing some shit to keep it updated and
I do a lot of
upgraded.
it myself too, and then there's seasonal, so you're decorating seasonally, and it never ends.
Yeah.
But it feels more like home every time you add something to it.
Oh, hell yeah. And congrats to Narzan, man. Works hard. He has a beautiful
Seasons.
home in Canada.
There's like 1.5 seasons in Canada.
All right, so before we dive into what Spot just said, because I have to bring that up, because
There's 1.5 seasons. It's
how do you
winter.
just brush past what Spot said? But I
then
wanted to
a
ask
month
you.
of summer.
I wanted to ask you, as far as side gigs, if you needed to make extra money, let's just say, God forbid, you really were saving for something, you needed money for some, like
bar squats.
Bar squats. I joined the circus. Travel with those bad boys. Feast your eyes. The eighth wonder of the world.
take a glimpse.
The man with the nuts.
All right, so you'd be a bar squatter. Okay, tell me your story. Tell me your story. I don't even know what to tell you.
I'd be traveling.
You always like
I'd be
you always like when people set up conversations and I'm trying to do so and you're rejecting it.
Actually,
So
Spot said it.
Okay, let it flow, bro.
that's what I said yesterday, and you said don't let it flow. We do a show.
He said that.
I think the difference between us and other fucking podcasts is we do a show. We don't just blabber. So we'll get to the goodness. But go ahead. You're asking me a side gig. I didn't even say anything.
Now it's like I told you, we've been building up to it for so long. It's gonna just be flat now.
Side gigs, Ubers.
I was just gonna say, seeing the Uber guy yesterday was all in fucking great spirits, just driving me 3 minutes to my house, made a quick $10, and he's hustling doing that in the afternoon. Seeing our personality-less bartender last night.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I answered your question last night.
I know,
truthfully.
and
I said I would
feel like,
probably do this because I could do a better job than Big Haas. I would probably go back to my roots of bartending. And Jordan's going to say, you can't bartend. I did it for years. Yeah, I erased that shit from my brain because I didn't need it anymore. But I would probably go back to that because you can make an honest, quick buck and some good change. And you sell yourself while making drinks.
Yeah.
I think I could do that.
I would do that.
I think I could
Or
bartend.
cut hair. I answered this. We had this discussion last night. And I said, or I would polish my skills and really learn how to cut hair because I enjoy it. And again, you're having great conversation, you're selling yourself, and you're making people feel better.
You need to get. Do you need to go to school for that and get licensed, or you just apply for a license? How does that work?
You have to get a barber's license.
But I would.
But does that
probably-
involve school?
Yeah, probably.
It's like probably online. You could probably do online classes with a couple in-person things nowadays.
But I know my skill
Like
sets.
to teach yoga, I had to do like a whole training.
So that's what I would.
That was an
probably do.
investment.
Bartending. I would bartend.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking the same thing. Like, I never hated. Now, I guess if you did it long time as a career, yes, it might get annoying. But anytime I ever was a waiter, bartender, worked in food services, catering for weddings and events, like I've always sort of enjoyed pouring drinks and bringing out food and doing stuff. To me, it was always, it moved fast. You're moving around. You're busy. You're not like just sitting somewhere. So I would say bartending.
I'll tell you what, Rich.
Now, if you like to drive, though, that's why I brought up to Uber, because if you like to drive, if you're some dude that's like, yeah, I need a couple extra $100 here or there, I feel like Uber is a probably pretty solid gig. I know a couple of our friends and listeners have done it when they're trying to get a little extra cash, but driving Uber or Lyft or bartending would probably be the two easiest side hustles, right?
I think they changed how the Uber drivers get paid, though.
Less now?
I think
Or
so.
More, less?
Like the rates went up, remember, at one point? And I think the drivers took the hit for some reason because they started complaining every time I took an Uber, and I heard some stories and rumblings about it. But yeah, I totally agree with Rich, especially if you like that sort of thing. Like driving's no thing for you. You know your way around. You're good with people. Like my dad is one of those guys. He just drives. That would be perfect for him, except he doesn't like people, so maybe not. But,
No, but
as
as
far
you know,
as side gig, yeah, fuck, man.
That's a great-
There's
how
great
many,
opportunities out there to make some extra money.
Especially retired guys. Like your dad, like he doesn't need the money or anything, but like your dad would be a fun guy to be like, yeah, I'm going to drive for, if he drove 2 hours a day and made like $100 doing Uber, he made $100 driving for a few hours or something.
Dude, my dad delivers blood and fucking makes bank. I'm like, you got the best gig ever. He does. He's got a great gig, but he likes to drive around and shit. So if you're one of those guys, yeah, of course, it's a great side hustle.
Where's your dad work? Transylvania? What does he do? He delivers
Transylvania.
blood.
Yeah, he lives.
Hello, Mr. Covino. Thanks for the delivery.
Yeah, don't sweat it. See you next week.
Goodbye.
1, 2, 3 packages.
Later, see ya.
Yeah, later, count.
Is it true that he's replacing the blood with corn syrup just to like save money,
Yeah, that's what he does.
like he did with chocolate cow and Yoo-hoo?
He works with the hospitals and shit.
I know.
Doing that for a long ass
Well,
time.
hey, fun night last night. Ta-da, the end. Go ahead.
No, not the end though, because
Keep telling your story.
I said my dad has the best gig. Side gigs, wherever you want to take this, that's fine. There's lots of opportunities out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of lazy motherfuckers too. But I was thinking about this the other day, and by no means am I trying to like rub it into people that live this life. I'm coming from I'm very grateful and fortunate place. When we do our shows, we never look at the clock. We're not clock watching. The only time we're looking at the clock is to make sure, like, we're not going too long, right? Because we could do this all day. That's really why we're looking at the clock.
Yesterday, people were cock watching.
Yeah, yesterday we were cock watching, but I'm never clock
watching though.
However, I did find myself at times when we were hosting those events recently for SXM and Ford. They're like 3-hour events, and they're not hard by any means. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. I did notice myself like counting down the minutes, and that's the worst feeling ever. Like think about your other jobs before you got your dream gig, before you started doing what you love to do. Think about your other jobs when you were just looking at the clock and you're like, man, if only 5 minutes went by, you'd go to the bathroom just to kill time. You'd sit on the fucking toilet.
I told you my trick,
you
right?
would do anything to kill time. You're like, oh, just 3 more minutes went by.
Let's see if you remember.
I had that feeling when I was hosting those events. It was a boring day. It was just one day. Usually they go quick and they're fun and there's people. And there was one day where it was slow and it was boring. And I'm like, this is the longest 3 hours of my life.
Because when you're doing that, you're making announcements for no one.
Yeah. And it made me appreciate what we do. And it made me appreciate where we've come in our career, because watching the clock is the worst fucking feeling ever. And if that's what you're doing, then you don't love what you do.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if you remember. Let's see how good your memory is. What were my 2 time-killing tricks when I worked at Wendy's?
You would go to the cooler.
I'd go to the walk-in freezer.
And
I'd grab a bag of chicken.
Smells like where they put the produce at Costco.
I'd grab a bag of chicken nuggets. And it was nice and cool in there. So I'd just sit down. And the minute I heard someone open the door, I'd stand up because I'd be like, how long can I be in here where no one noticed?
You'd sit there freezing. You look like the snow miser. You look like Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
From The Shining. Just to kill time.
Yeah. So I'd do that. And then I would volunteer to do stuff that was like no one else wanted to do.
Yeah, just to get out.
I was like, you need someone to take out the trash? Because no trash man? Get the little dumpster and push it like down the block to the dumpster. I'm like, that means I could go take a fucking walk to the dumpster?
Yeah, anything to kill the clock. There's Rich. Just to kill time.
Anyone ever, that's me in the walk-in freezer at Wendy's. You ever work for a place where they're like, hey, who wants to go to the bank and make the deposit? And they'll give you like the little zip envelope.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking me. I want out.
And there's, to completely wrap up the conversation, there's no shame in making some extra money. If it's Uber, if it's bartending, if it's whatever, man. Especially if it's something you love to do. You're providing, you're making some extra change so you can live your life. We were talking about that stuff yesterday. And, I guess Rich was thinking about it because of the Uber story.
Look at that. People remember. Alex said, I remember. Rich said he used to hide in the freezer. I did. Oh, you know what else I did too?
Doesn't Chappelle or Chris Rock do a bit?
You're so proud of it.
About
Shame on you.
He used to hide.
I was a great worker though, Spot. Yeah,
when you worked.
Chris Rock did talk
Did
about
you work at like Red Lobster, or is that Chappelle?
Difference between a job and a career. That's Chris Rock.
Oh, but what did Jordan say about your nuts? We're about to get into that.
We're going to get to that, really.
Get to my nuts, man.
Somebody asked. That's why I just wanted to reiterate that.
Both conversations tie together because maybe I will start a little circus sideshow.
I remember when my friends would go to Wendy's to visit me. Remember when your friends would visit you at work? And you're like, yo, fucking don't do anything dumb, but yeah, hey, what's up? My friends would go to Wendy's, get like a Frosty, and they would sit down. So I would grab the broom and the little thing, and I would just stand next to them pretending I'm sweeping and talking to them like,
you're such a great worker.
Until someone figured out like, wait, is he just there talking to his friends? I'd be like, yo, drop a few things. They're like, go ahead, drop the French fry.
It's weird. Everything you say makes me believe you were the worst worker
I
ever.
was a fucking bit. You should have heard me at the drive-thru. This is before I was on the radio. I'm like, welcome to Wendy's. Can I help you?
Hey.
Shut up.
I was fucking the best drive.
You want some chili from our dollar menu?
I'll be honest. Anyone that's ever worked at a fast food restaurant, the first time they put you in charge of the drive-thru, you really felt cool. You had the headset on. You're like, welcome to Wendy's. Can I help you?
You remember when Beavis and Butthead did it, though?
Of course.
Yeah, shit was great. I'll have a large pie, fry, a large coffee.
Shut up. No.
Yo, am I the only one? Am I the only one that worked at a restaurant or a catering hall or anything that would
I never worked in food service.
I would take things off of people's plates if they didn't finish it.
That's disgusting.
I would take their food
Before you gave it to them.
served
You're
it.
so proud of like the worst shit.
Like, yo, if they had a chicken tender salad, you'd be like, yo, they'd be like, there's not a lot of chicken on my tender salad. On my
How about
salad.
Rich? You said he
You're
peed
proud?
on someone's store the
You're
other day.
proud of not
They
working.
didn't let him use the bathroom.
You're proud of fucking wasting time with your friends. You're proud of stealing food off people's plates. You're disgusting.
I was a great worker, Spot.
You're the worst.
Yo, Spot, people used to steal from my job, and I never did that.
Oh.
There would be people that would steal.
Oh.
Yo, everyone that's worked, anyone that's
What
worked
was
in,
I thinking?
What do you want, a cookie? You're not supposed to steal from your job.
anyone knows that if you worked at a fast food place, I had friends at the movie theater, Wendy's, McDonald's. People would steal money. They wouldn't ring it up, but they would take the people's money. Get the fuck out of here. Everyone stole. I didn't. I was a good guy.
I never stole.
You're not supposed to steal.
I want credit for not stealing.
Yeah, when you're comparing yourself to like delinquents.
It's like me saying when I worked the cash register at Old Navy, it was great that I didn't steal $1 out every time it opened.
Spot, I guarantee there were people at Old Navy that like fucking were siphoning money.
What was your last job before radio?
Oh yeah, if you're the number one place for embezzlement, Old Navy.
My last job
Fucking
before
Menlo Park Mall.
That's a good question. My last job before I was full-time radio, where that was my job, I worked at Ann Taylor, the women's clothing store.
That was the one?
Yeah.
That's miserable.
Yeah. No, it's actually a great job. I've told you this. My friend's mom was the manager,
And
and
all those cougars there.
you know what I had to do? I sat in the back room and I had to take women's clothing out of plastic bags. They were wrinkled.
Can
and
you
then I
help
had-
me with my pantyhose?
No, and then I had to put them on a hanger and
Spanx.
steam them, and then bring them out to the floor.
My girdle's caught.
Old lady pointing her old lady pantyhose feet at you.
I worked at the Ann Taylor loft at the Source Mall on Long Island, next to Roosevelt Field.
Spot, was Old Navy your last job before you got into radio? Bennigan's was my last job before I started getting paid at radio.
I've had so many odd jobs. Probably, yeah, because I worked at Old Navy in college. So yeah, it was my last real job.
We'd fuck with my buddy.
Last
My
non-real
buddy.
job.
I have a picture of my last day at the bar bartending.
I don't have one picture of me at any job.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a rare one. It's
I
all
still have
blurry
all-
and shit.
Still have all my Old Navy staff shirts. They don't wear those anymore. If anyone wants to buy them, I have a whole array. I have the T-shirt, the long sleeve shirt, the sweatshirt, the polo. Hit me up. I got them all.
Hey, Spot. You know, I used to. I had a great fucking.
Very large.
I had a
by
great
the way.
scheme. I had a great scheme to make money while I was working at this cards and gift shop. So, you know, Quick Draw.
McGraw?
Is this going to be another thing that like is disgusting?
You know, Quick Draw. It's
The-
like it's
the-
Keno.
Yeah,
Where it's like
the numbers. You
1 to
choose the
8, 1 to
numbers,
80.
yeah.
You could pick 3 numbers, 5 numbers, 6 numbers. Your odds are different. There was a promotion going on for like a year where it was like, if you buy $10 a lotto ticket, you get 1 free Quick Draw play.
Mm-hmm.
So there was just a stack of free Quick Draw plays, and they didn't really count them or anything because it was like, hey, buy something, you get a freebie. And I would just sit there all day playing the free Quick Draw plays.
Weren't
And
you
if I
supposed to-
won once or twice a day, there was an extra like $100.
Weren't you supposed to give them to people?
Yeah. But a lot of times old people are like, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, I'll take it. Don't worry.
So you're ripping off the old people?
No,
So
because they
you
would give it
ripped
to me.
off-
They'd be like,
okay.
I don't want to play.
All right.
I
so
was
you
friends with all
would-
the old ladies in the neighborhood.
So you would blow off your responsibilities and sit in a freezer.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
blow off your responsibilities and like just sweep around your friends.
Yeah.
You
I would eat people's food.
You would eat people's food off.
Yes.
You
yes.
wouldn't steal.
I wouldn't
but
steal because
other
I was a
people
good
were
person.
because
But
you
he'd
were a good
welcome you
person.
with a smile. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
You'd welcome with a smile, and then you were stealing old people's money.
Welcome to Wendy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It says a lot about
What
your
else,
character.
what else did I do?
What else did you do that was like really awesome in your childhood that got you where you are today?
I was a great worker, Spot. I worked at a pizzeria once. I delivered some pizzas. That was a fun time.
Once a thief, always a thief, Rich. You disgust me.
No, way back on a Wednesday, these are great stories. But again, if you're still watching the clock,
Surprised you didn't
you're
like
not doing what you love. I'm serious.
wind up in prison. Jesus Christ.
It's funny you should say that because I have a prison deep thought today. You want to get right into it?
Yeah, I do. You've been talking about it for a few days.
And by the way, I
Because
never
3 days in a row I
You should
said,
be ashamed of yourself.
No, just so you know.
No, you should really be ashamed of
No,
yourself.
I never stole anything from old ladies. They would. It
That's
was
like me saying I used to work at the church, right? I used to work at the.
Oh yeah, that's the same thing.
Hold on. No. I used to work at the church. I used to set up for the masses on the weekend, and as part of my responsibilities during the mass,
You'd have to blow Father Nelson.
No, during the mass. Whoa, that's really great, Rich. That's really awesome. I was raped by priests. Let's talk about that.
Oh,
Whoa,
man.
were you? If you were, then this is a terrible joke. I'm sorry. If you weren't, it's a fine joke.
You know, they did the collection. They would gather the collection, put it in a big bag, and then they would hand it off to me, and I would have to take the collection from the church over to the rectory where the priests live. And they had a team of people, a team of volunteers that were counting the money on a Sunday. Imagine if on that walk from the church to the rectory, I was like, let me get a fistful of cash every time.
This is like not even close. He's talking about stealing money from the church versus me letting old ladies be like, yeah, you could take the free lotto ticket.
Honestly, it sounds the same thing.
Same exact
Stealing
thing.
from your job. What's
Same
the difference?
exact thing. It wasn't stealing.
It's just someone's fucking money. Who cares?
Trying to
Not
find
the church's money.
Trying to find these
Yet.
pictures of me at Bennigan's. Do you want to talk about Spot's revelation? He's
never going to buy a house or have kids?
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that.
Or do you want to talk about they're trying to build a prison?
I want to talk about prison first and then build up to Spot's life decisions.
I don't want to seem rude to our tier 2 subscribers. I'm just trying to look for this pick for a Way Back Wednesday highlight. So continue. Let's hear about it.
So I had a thought that I feel like you might get with because you know people that have been to prison.
Yeah, not proud of that.
I'm not saying
But
you should
sure.
be proud of it, but I'm saying you and I have talked about this briefly off the air.
I know people that should be in prison.
I have like a holiday picture of like me and like my uncles and like we're in he's in his prison outfit. We're like, yeah, happy holidays.
Your Uncle Jailbird Joey?
Because they would let you take pictures like with your uncle that you weren't.
What did they say? What did they say in Back to the Future? He didn't get parole again.
Swear to God, my mom sent me like, isn't this a great
okay.
picture of you and Uncle? Like, I'm not throwing it out there, right? Isn't it a great picture of you and Uncle so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, but he's in his prison clothes and we're there at the prison. But yeah, it's a nice picture.
Yeah, sweet teardrop tattoo, Mom. So I thought about this because I heard someone talking about, I know what it was. My wife is obsessed with TikTok radio on Sirius XM. And I started listening to it too, and it's actually really good. It's like a pop channel, but they just play mostly the trending songs on TikTok. And it's a catchy channel. I'm sure it's doing well, I bet. Spot, can you play that Russian song?
I can't
for a
wait to
second?
hear the Backyardigans.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. But they'll play that for 20 seconds and play another song. Like, it's catchy as hell.
I get it.
You turn on TikTok radio and you're like, yeah, this is sort of better than Hits 1 right now. Spot, play that Russian song. That's like the number one of the number
What's
one.
the name of it?
No, honestly, if you just search TikTok song Russian, it immediately comes up because Sarah's like, do you realize the words to that song are like filthy about like licking booty holes or something?
Let's see.
Well, how does she know if it's in Russian?
Because she said she saw it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really catchy song that you've seen girls or guys even do like a little, not a dance to, just like it's a trendy song. And on TikTok radio, they got DJs too, like hosts. And someone's like, yo, have you been checking out such and such TikTok? It's like something from prison.
Is it?
Let's hear. No, it's not it.
It's 28 million views. I searched a Russian TikTok song.
Turn it a little louder, let's say.
I'm sure it's like an isolated portion of it that you know.
No, that's not it.
Whatever it was, that shit was banging.
All right. Maybe this is it. Hang on.
Yes, people know this song. This is it. Crank this, Spot.
I gotta be honest. I didn't know it till you played it.
It's like the number one song.
Just being honest. You don't know the news? I don't know the song.
Crank this, Spot.
It's very bad, Rich. Our Russians are freaking out right now.
I bushwhacked to the song.
But yeah, this is like probably the top trending song on TikTok.
But they're speaking Russian there? Isn't that like
I thought it was
dudes?
gibberish.
Really?
Honestly, I thought it was gibberish. It's Russian dudes. Not even joking.
Wow.
I thought it was gibberish. I thought it was I'm not just hearing the lyrics. I thought I was like, I don't hear it. It's a fucking different language.
I'm sure Russians really appreciate that sentiment. I thought it was gibberish. It's turned out to be Russian.
I'm Russian. Like he says Vato shit. I'm allowed to, I could say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
got
Russian.
It.
I could
Got
say it sounds like stupid gibberish.
Got it.
Remember? You could allowed to make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
So TikTok radio starts talking about he has a cool account that's really funny, like something from prison. And I'm like, yo, people have access to smartphones and they're making videos in prison. And here's my thought. Give me a minute. In a world where we are more isolated than ever before, people brag and love that I'm an introvert. And they're on social media all day. If you were allowed to have a smartphone with Wi-Fi all day and you're an introvert, other than getting butt raped, would prison be that awful?
It depends what prison you're in.
Again, like I said, if you weren't in danger of being fucking stabbed or butt raped, if you're an introvert that loves to be like, I like fucking alone time, I like scrolling on social media, I could watch the fucking game on the app. If you had a smartphone with Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, all your apps, and you had social media with free Wi-Fi, yet you're not going to get butt raped or stabbed, and you're in like sort of a country club prison, would it be that bad for an introvert?
Why are you taking away my butt rape?
No, would it be that bad for an introvert? And your family would visit you to say hi on the weekend, probably more so than your family sees you now.
Depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to Danny Trejo or someone like that, he'd be like, oh, my days in San Quentin, I don't know.
You don't know shit. San Quentin, because we know it's a bunch different. I'm saying if you're in like
in young people's day camp prison, you know, you like, said they were swimming today. You're like having a good grand old time.
You said you knew someone that was in a prison that was like they had TVs and like gyms and pools.
Yeah, your uncle comes out, he's in the best shape of his life. Because there's a great gym there. They had boxing rings. People are hitting the heavy bag, and they had TVs back when I was a kid. When I realized because they changed how it was when they allowed them to have televisions. I was like, oh man, you got it made. And now with smartphones and internet,
and after a year and a half of a pandemic, where people, where a year and a half of people,
we just lived it.
Like, a year and a half of people being sort of isolated,
and you getting into your routine. People can't even afford a meal out here.
How do you not?
You get your meal there.
I'm so confused. How you don't think this makes sense, Spot? Covino immediately felt me. He's like, yeah, if you could have a smartphone in prison, which means you could hit up people you know on Facebook. You could hit up people you know on Instagram. You could watch TikTok. You could watch Netflix. You could watch things. And on the weekends, your family could visit you and say what's up for an hour, and then you go back to your
you're getting your meals.
And you're getting your meals. And you what?
I think you're like glamorizing prison just a little bit too much.
Certain prisons.
I think you've seen too many shows.
That's why I keep saying it depends what prison we're talking about. Because people are getting killed. There's a whole fucking drug ring probably going on. You got the aviators. Well, you got the Aryan Army and the.
That's like maximum security, like,
dude.
With where people
you got
have
you got Launda to deal with. You got the Squirrel Master, Nasty Nate. You're someone's bitch. You're the new fish. There's a lot of factors. Again, it depends what prison you're in.
Rich is going to Camp Cupcake.
I'm not quite sure.
Young people's day.
I'm not quite sure what you're not grasping about my dumb theory, which is. If you get meals, you have access to a gym, you have unlimited Wi-Fi with every app for social media, streaming services, and everything, and you're an introvert that fucking never sees your friends or family anyway.
Do we know anybody in the Department of Corrections where we could send you to prison for like a week? I'd love to.
I mean, I'm an extrovert, you moron. My point is the person that doesn't... What are you not getting?
He's saying, all right, think of the pandemic the past 2 years, right? There was a lot of introverts that were sort of okay with it, because they had no desire to like interact and go out and do those things anyway.
The sentiment for idiots like you and other people like, I don't like seeing anyone anyway.
Right.
The person that's like, I like being at home. I don't like going to the office.
I don't like being at home, not being in prison.
All right. I'm not following. Prison is supposed to be...
It depends what prison you're in.
Home.
I'm telling you.
Prison is supposed to be the worst place.
I will say this.
Well, dude, prison is supposed to be the worst place. If you were able to have a smartphone in a country club, white-collar prison, if you had internet, which means you had TV, streaming services, social media...
You can't make your own prison conditions. Sure.
I'm saying if there's a TikTok account from prison, that means I'm sure there's places that give inmates...
This is what you're saying. Let me create the greatest situation ever, but you can't leave. It's called prison. Would you like to go there? That's not real prison. But you know what? Under your conditions, yes, Rich. especially over the past 2 years, I would love to be in prison.
People,
if all I needed was a smartphone.
People don't think that there's country club prisons. Yeah, there's a lot of tough ass, terrible prisons. But if you don't think some of these white collar people get sent to it's almost the equivalent to a rehab center.
Yeah, young people's day camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Covino has people in his friends
basketball.
or family that you're fucking playing basketball and you're working out
Living
and if
their best life.
And if you could do that plus have a smartphone,
I'm gonna.
Fine. I mean, I thought you'd
I'm
immediately.
not, by the way, I'm not speaking on behalf of the people that I knew.
Yeah.
That was my impression. Yeah, I guess it's not so bad. Yeah, I'm sure it sucked for them.
I'm just saying,
right? Because they wanted to be free.
I'm saying, Spot.
But
The negative
it
part.
never
The
seemed
negative
that bad at certain points in my life. I remember
the
thinking
negative part of prison has always been, I can't communicate with people. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. I'm isolated from society. So I'm saying if you had a smartphone in 2021 where people don't want to leave their house anyway, and if you could sit, you'd be in a cell, which would suck. But if you could, no, but what do you not understand? People live in New York City apartments that are fucking the same size as a jail cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to go outside. I get it. You don't get your freedoms, but I'm saying jail should be horrific.
An hour a day.
Jail should
go to
be
the yard.
Jail should be horrific.
Here in LA, they don't even send people to jail anymore. They slap you on the wrist and they say, "Go ahead, go on with your day."
Rich, your frustration that you're having right now is nowhere near the amount of frustration I have at you thinking that prison is a fucking cakewalk.
Hey, Spot, when he was telling me this in the car, it kind of made sense. I was like, yeah.
That's why the two of you together, just unchecked, is.
I don't want to turn my back on Rich
preposterous.
Yeah, don't turn your back
in
on
this
me now, bro.
context, I'm having a hard time having your back.
Have your fucking dreams.
But I'm doing my
Joyce.
best.
I'm not. You know what? I won't question
The
reality.
smartphone is a game changer, though. So when I was
right.
a kid, right? And again, I'm trying to make it even more clear.
When your mom would say, "Go to your room." If you had Nintendo in your room, it wouldn't be that bad.
There you go. And
I'm just saying, if you go to prison,
they allowed TVs. All of a sudden, you had TVs because they were, small and compact enough to have TVs in prison. I'm like, well, hey, you can watch Three's Company. That's kind of cool. It's not so bad. Now with technology, it's even a little more entertaining, right? Catch up on Dexter.
If you had a smartphone in prison,
I mean, I feel what he's saying.
And you had no family or kids.
So what? You got the BGA waiting to butt rape you. Does it? You still could catch up on the Hulu, the Von Dutch documentary.
What's up, Nars?
From the outside looking in, prison nowadays does not seem like prison as we used to know it.
Right.
With all the amenities, it is. It's
like the slammer.
With all the amenities that they have from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like prison anymore.
Yeah, I'm saying
And
if
it
some
just
guy,
depends,
if
right,
some
what
person,
prison?
if some person commits a crime worthy of going to jail, I'm saying introverts that don't like dealing with, they don't have friends or family, they're loners anyway. Is being in a jail cell with a smartphone, TV, internet access, a gym, and a basketball court that bad? All right, maybe so. Yeah, you lose your freedoms. I get that, but in my mind, jail's like you lose your freedoms plus your connection to the outside world.
How about this?
If you
You're
still have
a
your
hobo and you don't know where your next meal's coming. Prison seems a lot better.
If you don't lose your connection to the outside world, the downside is safety and freedom. If you're adding the element of you can connect to the outside world, you can watch movies, TV, you could be on social media, you could connect with your friends on the outside, doesn't that make prison a lot less shitty?
Are we certain that these are the new rules, though?
I'm just saying, if there's a prison account, I brought it up just because there's a prison account on Twitter or on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you were allowed to, that's it.
I mean, some people are putting albums out from prison. People are fucking getting married.
Either way, I agree, Kenneth. Either way, no one wants to be in the clink. I'm just saying that what prison is now.
San Quentin.
All right, who do we got, Spot?
Austin.
Austin, what's up, buddy?
Austin.
I can't fucking take this anymore.
I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree with me. I'm glad you agree with me.
Computer monitor. You literally have no fucking clue, Rich. You're like, oh, it'd be great if you could have your Netflix.
Yeah.
And sure, you can't ever leave, and you're stuck in a cell, but you've got your Netflix and you got Big Hoss next to you.
Yeah.
And your TikToks.
Yeah, that'd be great, right?
It wouldn't be as bad, but it would still be bad.
Hey, you
like
dope.
Andrew
You just
Hart
proved my
said.
point. Thanks, Austin, you big dope-ass dope. You just proved my point. You said it would be bad, but not as bad. Thank you. All
right.
That's my point. My point is prison used to be prison on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awful. It used to be a 10. Now I feel like it's a 5.
Jason in Tampa, you have the floor for the next hour.
Jason, what's up, man?
Dude, so
So I asked this question in all sincerity. Rich, do you know anybody that's ever been to prison personally?
No, I do not.
Okay, so your argument in this example is stupid as shit, right?
No, it's
so,
not.
So
It's-
when
it's
people sit here and
genius,
say, "Oh, well, prison has gotten easier," I want to know, how do you know? How do you know prison has gotten
He saw a
easier?
TikTok.
Right?
He saw a TikTok account.
Well, if people are making TikTok videos in prison,
he saw a TikTok
and they're doing
from prison.
fucking dance routines.
Jason, why don't you attack Covino, who 100% agree with me this whole conversation?
Well, I got to be honest.
Well,
Like I
I'm
said,
talking to both of y'all. I'm talking to both of y'all. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
This is Rich's point here. I just don't want to see him drown. When he was telling
Too
me
bad.
this in the car, I'm like, yeah, cool, yeah, I see what you're saying. In this context, I do feel a little
Jason,
different. I just don't want to.
like people are like Andrew. People are saying, "Why don't we send Rich to prison?"
Yes,
Jason,
why don't we?
I am an extrovert that thrives on communicating with people and seeing friends and like going out and about. The people that are like never want to go out, the people that stay in their house, they never see their friends or family, the people that over the last year and a half of a pandemic were like, I sort of like this.
Right.
I'm saying those people.
That's the point you really drilled to me.
Yeah, I was like, those people would
last time.
probably be not so bad in prison unless safety was an issue.
Okay, all right. So have you ever seen the show 60 Days In?
No, I'm scared of prison. I don't watch
Okay,
anything.
no. So there's a show called 60 Days In where people, average citizens or whatever, they volunteer to spend 60 days in jail, right? Some people think it's easy, yada yada yada, right? Changes their lives, right? So the prison that you're talking about, it's not really prison, right? It's like it's some sort of halfway house or something like that, right? That's not the same thing as being locked down 24 hours, right? Where you have barbed wire fences and stuff like that. The people who have cell phones and have TikTok in prison, do you know how they get them? They smuggle them in. They don't just
In their
walk
butthole,
through the
Rich.
front door, through the gate with cell phones, right? You know what happens if they get caught with a cell phone? They get in trouble, right? So, and the other thing about being an introvert, right?
Hey, listen,
To my
Jason, well, just so you
being
know,
an introvert in prison, you still have other people around you. So you can't be as much of an introvert, just be by yourself in isolation as it may seem.
Jason,
Like,
I don't mind.
I love
by the
you,
way,
but this is a dumb thought.
okay,
Thank you.
Jason.
Rich would smuggle a Zach Morris phone.
I've
in his butt.
taken shits at Chase Stadium. I'm okay pooping in front of other people. I
can't
you know,
do that.
I think
No,
I'd
I'd have poop anxiety.
Let me tell you about prison. I was in prison once. I was in prison. You don't know this. I was in actually. I
What, Facebook prison?
no. I was in prison once. People don't know this. I actually hung a Cindy Crawford poster on the wall.
Nice.
And
was
every
scared.
night I would scrape the wall just a little bit more. And I put the pebbles in my pockets and I would go out to the yard.
Oh, great movie.
And I would let them loose. And then after a while, I changed the Cindy Crawford poster and I put up a Carmen Electra poster.
Ooh.
And then the Barbie twins.
Oh.
And then one day they were like, "Where's Rich Davis?" Fucking got mad. The guy threw a pebble. Went through the fucking poster.
But you got caught because someone looked at your shoes. You were wearing $9 shoes, right?
Right.
How often do you look? Oh, what are those? And I got caught. Somebody.
What are those?
Someone ring the alarm on this guy.
All right, so let me cross prison life. All right, let me cross this idea off. All right. Sounded good when I
I
thought about it.
understand what he's saying. Doesn't make what he's saying to be true.
Covino would be searched every day in prison because they would think he was smuggling contraband in his pants.
I just want people. Sir, what do you have bocce balls in your pants?
What are those? Where'd you get those?
Well, what's going on? This guy's got grapefruits.
Are those cigarettes? They're my nuts.
Depends what prison you're in.
Yeah, I
did say
I think
that.
my point was pretty
Of course,
fucking.
when you paint the picture of the best prison in imaginable on the face of the earth, yeah, sure, I'll go to prison.
Hey, don't you see some like flash mob dance routines sometimes from prison?
That's in China.
But still, that shit didn't exist
I have
when
the-
you're in the slammer.
I have the weakest shoes in prison. It's funny.
I know no one would fight you for. No one would like try and kill you for those.
When Rich told me this in the car, again, he really sold it on. Introverts had it easier.
They'd kill those
in the
shoes.
past 2 years than extroverts.
They would kill the shoes and throw Rich over the wire.
Hey, Spot, let me ask you one dumb question. Ready? Let me ask you one question. How many introverts didn't see their friends or family for 2 years?
Spot for a long time was saying he's okay with everything. Remember? It's okay with me.
Yeah, I was happy being at home, but you know what I loved?
So he
the
was
ability
saying,
to like chill on my couch and do whatever I wanted, or get up and go to the kitchen and eat whatever I wanted because I obviously did, or go outside on my balcony and chill for a minute, or or go for walks. I went for walks every night.
What I'm saying,
can't do that in prison.
You could go in the yard.
Oh, it was the Philippines. Sorry, it wasn't China.
Anyway, I'm just saying. I think you guys just love to pounce on me, but my idea is not that bad.
I didn't. I
didn't
this time.
Thank you, Spot.
I apologize.
Thank you, Cove. Spot, let's dive into what you said. You said something earlier that like.
Please, let's talk more about prison.
No, you said something earlier that was like, and you said it with like an anger in your voice. You said, "I'm never having a kid, and I'm never buying a house."
I think he was just trying to take your arguments from you. No?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I said it with such conviction.
Right.
But are you never going to buy a house and never going to have a kid?
I don't anticipate buying a home that I live in on a regular basis.
Like an investment property?
At any point. Maybe, I still look every day for a vacation property, but even those are going up and all of them look like garbage. So who knows? There's no, where I am, where we are, there's no reason for me to invest in a house.
Okay.
You don't think maybe an apartment or a condo or a townhouse? You just want to rent
buying
forever?
condos is weird to me. No offense, Steve. But buying like an apartment in a building just feels odd to me.
But the reality is, like,
remember, it's not my forever home.
No, I know, but
this is sort of my halfway
home.
home.
But for me, it's like, why not just rent at this point?
You don't even need to justify saying it's not your forever home. It just, for years, like, when you're younger, you might say to yourself, like, well, I don't want to buy a place because you need your money for other things, right? Mm-hmm. You're getting married, you're buying a ring, you're paying for a wedding, you're doing other things. Like, you're making your way. You're putting more money in your 401k. When you get to a point, Spot, like, I know certain cities make sense for people to rent, but you have a lot of money saved and you've invested great so far. You'll never be like, if your rent was equal to a mortgage payment, why wouldn't you just want to own it?
Well, because it's about where I'm living. So it's like, yeah, sure, I could put money down on a fucking shack in Sherman Oaks, but it wouldn't be. I would almost be like wasting money. I would be over because
but you're renting a shack in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, I get it, but like I'm not tied to that forever now. If we decide that we want to move over,
then you sell it.
Yeah, but like the buying and selling process is not the easiest.
It's not as hard as you think.
But it's not as easy as you think.
I think it is as easy as you think.
So like us paying these fees and lawyers doing all the real estate and all that shit.
I don't know what fees you're talking about. The closing costs? It's like what fees? What fees do you speak of?
I just feel like it's not as easy to just like up and move every time you feel like you want to move.
I mean, if you are saying you're not going to have a family,
but you're
going to be in LA for a while, even if you were there for the minimum is you want to be somewhere for 2 years.
Yeah, but there's nothing in this area that is like where we are.
Yeah,
it makes sense to rent because anything we would want to buy.
Yeah.
In the area we are, we love the area. We love the area we're in.
He's right about that.
There's nothing affordable.
You're not getting bang for your buck in Los Angeles.
There's nothing affordable in the area.
But if Spot's comfortable in the place he's living in now, he could find a place that size or even a little bigger, or he could have a lateral move.
I'm not plopping down money. I'm not plopping down all my hard-earned money to fucking not have a yard and my own space.
I get it.
If I'm gonna invest,
there's no interest in living like the way I'm living.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm just saying, like, I just know that you're a wise investor, and I always defended the renter because in big cities like New York, yeah, you're gonna pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for rent, but then you say to yourself, well, if you wanted to own a place in New York City, you know how much your mortgage would be? Like $10,000. So like sometimes there are some places where renting actually makes sense. I just think that if LA is
one of those places. I'm sorry.
I'm paying my mortgage here.
You live farther out than where I live.
But my mortgage...
I live in an area that's like central, closer. Look at how much you were paying for your apartment in Sherman Oaks versus you looked farther out because the houses in Sherman Oaks were overpriced.
To have this conversation make sense, by all means, open up a Zillow and check a Zestimate on some property here in the Valley. See what you get for $1 million.
Right.
You get a fucking beat up old looking house with really no redeeming qualities. You're not getting bang for your buck. So that's where Spot's coming from. Like,
If I lived
I'd rather
in-
rent and then buy an investment property somewhere else.
If I lived in was it El Paso, Texas, I don't know. Somewhere. If I lived in Decatur, Illinois, is that its place?
Yeah, there's a place. Sarah's family's from Decatur, Illinois.
There you go. If I lived in Decatur, Illinois, you know what I would do? Buy a house, because I could afford a nice sized house with a nice sized yard, with 2 cars, a dog, and all that shit for all the money I've saved.
Joe, the reason
for
I
all
said,
the money I've saved here
for half the price.
For half the price. For all the money that I've saved here, which would be a down payment on a house that would be quote unquote up to my standards, that would be an upgrade from where I'm living now.
Joe, the reason I said 2 years is because if you own a home for 2 years, it's a...
Or I would have to move far out. And I don't want to live in the fucking middle
Far
of
out.
Northridge. No offense to people that live in Northridge.
What I'm saying is
Go there every
2 years, because once you own a home for 2 years, you don't have to pay the short-term tax, right?
Yeah.
The capital, it all changes after 2 years. But I'm saying, Spot, if you really wanted to break down the math...
I'm all about these gains.
I'm just saying, if you want to break down the math, I still think it's a good move for you to buy a place. But I'm just saying.
Right, Nars? Gains.
It's a teach his own with Provolone.
Gains.
Like our t-shirt at shop.covinoandrich.com. I get what he's saying. It's just not, you're just on different pages. That's all.
Of course. I think over the years, what I've done is I've realized that renting works and it's low maintenance mentally. But the reality is, if everywhere I've lived along the way, I bought instead of rented, how much money I would have come away with. Because real estate, unless there's some weird crash, it's always going to gain value, right? It's you're going to make money. Like if you bought a...
Except for when I had to pay to sell my house.
Yeah, I mean...
My condo in Union,
let's say,
New Jersey.
Let's say a 2-bedroom place around you was like, let's say 700, right?
I wish. Oh, you mean like a condo?
Yeah, like a condo, right?
I wish.
If you owned it for a few years...
That's still low, by the way. That's low.
If you owned it...
That's like a shit... That's like an 80s
but
apartment.
then you slowly fix it up. In a couple years, you know it's going to be more than 700. So in a couple years, you'll have gained equity, in opposed to just every month being like, here's 3 or 4 grand, here's 3 or 4 grand, here's 3 or 4 grand. Like you're if anything, worst case scenario, you probably break even. It's just a headache of the maintenance that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem worth it to me to be locked into a place just to
But
own
you're not.
it.
But what do you mean locked in? That's why people can sell homes
for 2 years. So now I'm going to move to a place for 2 years that I don't like and fix it up.
Well, if you don't want to put in the effort, then yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
There's
it
more
takes
commitment.
effort.
He's just not into
I got to move all my stuff from
if
one
he's gonna
apartment
commit, he wants it to be
to another
something he's proud of.
another
That's what it
apartment,
seems like.
just so I can own something.
I get it. Okay, so he's not buying a home.
Okay.
Ever is what he said.
Okay.
But he will buy a vacation home or investment property.
I mean, I own 2 houses right now.
He owns his family's estate.
Soon to be 3 when my
It's an
in-laws
estate, yeah.
pass down that house.
So you'll be a rental mogul. What are you going to do with your mom and grandma's house?
We're looking. I have a guy. We're looking at seeing what we can do with the property and turning that into a few more lots and building houses.
Is your brother?
I might own one of those.
Is your family freaking out because
No.
Spot's on the outside looking in, where
No,
Spot's
we're all
living
on
his
the
life
same
out here.
page.
Where so they're okay like leaving those houses.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. We've all accepted defeat.
What do you mean defeat?
Like we've accepted the houses aren't up to snuff and they need to go. They're family houses. They're like the one house was built by my grandfather and his friends,
Nunzio,
which we hate to see go, but we've accepted the fact that the houses weren't kept up or even built to code.
So you see the hassles he's dealing with now being a homeowner? Like,
but when he sells it, he's going to make a lot of money. Like every time Sarah and I watch a home improvement show,
But I'm only going to make a lot of money
I know it's
because those
HGTV.
houses were handed to me. I didn't pay for them.
I know HGTV is all, it makes it seem a lot easier than it is. But other than closing costs, which could be a lot on a big house, I just still think that
big house
renting's great when you're younger because it's like you don't have to worry about it. You take away the responsibility and you could put your money towards other things you need as a younger man. But you hit a certain age, I feel like renting does become a little like, oh, that stinks. No?
Spot's buying a Tesla, right? Spot, you're going to buy a Tesla
No,
soon?
I don't think so.
Really? I saw you looking at them recently.
Well, I rented one.
I know you rented one, but didn't you go to look at them too?
No.
I thought I saw that on social media. I thought you posted.
I posted a video of me with the one that I rented.
Oh, that was the one?
Yeah.
But you changed your mind because you did tell me you were thinking about it.
The more I was thinking about it, I'm like, outside of the fun of obviously the technology, having a nice new car, and the environmental implications, even though they're not that great, for right now, I'm having fun with my Mini.
Are you gonna buy a Cyber
Mini
Quad?
convertible,
a Cyber Quad?
The truck
is for 8-year-olds and up.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to buy that.
The Cyber Quad
cruise here. It's like I can never go more than 10 miles an hour here anyway, so I might as well enjoy it.
Maximum speed 10 miles an hour, $1,900. So all right, and okay.
Okay,
and yeah,
that's all. I know that you're always a savvy investor on most things you do, Spot. So that's why when you say I'm going to rent
can I
forever.
switch gears? Spot, give me a nice little gear switch because this is a perfect gear switch.
Okay.
I'm going to get into the rando news, but I'll start with the coolest story. I'm going to do the rando news because my rando news stories sparked great conversation yesterday at dinner. So I got to bring it up here, and it involves investments, but a new form of investment, and we'll see if Spot's down with that.
Like JC said, I wish Spot would sell.
Jesus Christ?
Yes, I wish Spot would sell
Jordan
his mom's
Chesney.
house. Oh yeah, his mom's house, so he could get his own forever home. Even when I get that money, I don't think would buy a home, because then I would just be taking money and immediately wasting it.
But what do you mean wasting it?
Exactly what I said.
You'd be investing it.
I'd be investing it. I would be plopping all my money down on a house, and then I wouldn't have any savings.
But what do you need the savings for?
Living.
No.
My future.
What do you mean for future?
Who knows where? It's how it is. Who knows? Who knows where the future's going to take me?
Man, he's
Nothing's
planning on
called to me.
Taking a Cyber Quad somewhere else.
I'm happy being a renter.
Taking his talents.
Why are you trying to force me into something that I don't want to do?
Because you said two cryptic things.
Yeah.
Or like telling things. So he's investigating.
Yeah.
I'll switch gears to make this a more comfortable and fun conversation.
So am I switching gears or am I hitting the rando news?
Hit the switching gears.
Switch to gears.
Switch the gears up.
Switch to gears.
But you get what I'm saying, Spot. And by the way, any jerk off that's like fucking lay off. If any jerk off's like lay off Spot. I didn't compliment sandwich him. I actually said, Spot, over the years, you and I have always talked about investments and stuff, and Spot's always on the mark as far as like making the right moves and investing in the right things and plotting out. Like Spot's good at that stuff. So that's why I'm curious as to the one thing he isn't interested in is actually owning property, which seems to always be a good investment.
Maybe he's waiting to buy a place.
My Colorado house, since I bought it, doubled in value. The Texas house I had that I sold, almost doubled in value when I sold it.
And you got lucky. The condo Covino bought.
That's rare. It's
half in value.
Covino will agree that it was rare that he just bought.
Rare? That was that could happen
Market
again.
crashed. I can't get rid of it.
You never know.
And it didn't change overnight, man. It was years.
You rode the high wave, Rich, and good for you.
I hate that Rich just thinks homes are always an investment.
It's not the fucking.
They are, Raymond.
It's not the
buffoon.
It's not the 70s and 80s anymore, where our parents showed up at a house and like, here's cash. Give me this house. It's like there's a little bit more involved. I didn't work hard and save all this money for years to enter into to just throw it all out there at a risky investment.
Cubs fans are bobo, but he does make a decent point. Like right now, the market's so high, so it wouldn't be a good investment.
There's no.
So you're not saying
where's it slowing down? What indications are you seeing that the homeowner market is going down?
You don't know if it's going to go
Yeah,
down.
but
you don't know that.
What indicators?
If you follow, I don't know, trends. I mean, it always goes down.
I mean,
it's happened
the
before.
trends are saying that
it's just
over the
if
last
you're buying high, right? It might not be the best time to sell a house or buy a house. I mean,
competition will be even fiercer for homes in 2022, according to Realtor.com. 2022 forecast.
I hope you're right.
You know what? I'm with Alejandro. I'm looking into like digital houses.
That's perfect.
That's where I'm going.
That's where he's going.
Rando news or gear change?
By the way, top 10 housing markets for 2022. Think Boise, not New York City. Boise. Should have bought when you first met Jordan.
I mean, in her defense, he was trying to get me to agree to that and invest with her, but.
Ready?
Boise, Idaho is again likely to be near the forefront of real estate in 2022. That comes after property prices surged
boom, though.
more than 30% in the third quarter. Boise was named the least affordable housing market in the U.S., according to what people make in that city now. The median home price jumped to $530,000, 10 times the city's median income.
Jesus.
How do you know, though, you're not going to be buying high, selling low?
Boise is attracting people who want to relocate from expensive cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles.
Count me in.
2021 was ultra competitive. Expect even more competition in 2022 in Boise.
Yeah, but they don't have the infrastructure to accommodate all those people. You know what the roads are made for?
A small town.
A small town vibe. And now you got all these fucking people moving there.
It just coincidentally, Spot,
in droves.
It's just so oddly coincidental that every time there's a list of like fastest growing cities, where our two girls are from, where our two women are from, happen to be two of those places. New Braunfels, Texas, and Boise, Idaho are always on that list.
Yeah.
Sarah's hometown, there's a stretch, I think it's a 1604. It's a road that where Emmy went to preschool, where where the coffee spot is I go to Two Rivers. They are building, Spot. I've never seen it. They're building another layer of road. So this could be like an upper level and a lower level on what used to be just a fucking...
Like a Skyway in Back to the Future?
Yeah. Yes, sort of. But I'm saying like they're building all these extra roads, but like higher up. If there's going to be like an underpass and an overpass because they never expected all these people.
Wish they'd do that here.
Well, gee, I hope Rich is right. I hope it never crashes. I really do. You know, because everything up here went up in value. I hope that continues. Why would I root against that?
And by the way, Raymond, there's no way my house will drop below a certain point in value. It just can't. It's just the market demand for it is just, it's not. This is not, housing costs will drop in areas where they build a lot and then they realize quick, like it happened to Atlanta in the 2000s where they built real fast, real quick, like all these communities. It could happen in Texas. I read an article saying Texas real estate is going to halt real quick because if you go around Schertz, Selma, all in between like San Antonio and Austin, right? There's a lot of San Marcos. You see these communities, they're building like all these new houses. If you build too many houses for the demand, then the price starts to pull back. No? You follow? Like when
Of course. And as people
like
want to get the fuck out of California because it sucks and you're overpaying for horse shit and they're going in droves. More people from yes, they are. More people are
California.
The number one. I don't even know how to describe it. There's more Californians moving to Idaho than any other place. They're all from California. They're leaving.
Yeah.
So then your demand is lowering. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. I just hope it continues to go up.
I'm going to move to Montana.
So anyway, back to what Spot said. Let's make this interesting. Not that it wasn't. I'm just saying this is kind of interesting.
According to the Los Angeles Times, the LA Times, the California Grand Exodus is more of like a social media trend where when you do the numbers, people are not really leaving the state of California.
What's Twin Falls like?
Ooh, we should go there.
In Idaho.
Ask Jordan.
A new neighborhood could drop in value quick, but established areas will never drop. It's just the way it is.
Have you ever been to the Morley Nelson Snake River Birds of Prey National Preserve?
Never heard of it, Spot.
It's right near Boise. Have you ever been to Nampa?
Heard of it. I might have driven through it. I don't know. All right, so anyway, get this. Spot, are you interested in investing here?
This is interesting.
The metaverse.
Am I shifting gears?
Yeah.
The metaverse. You're right. Metaverse. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why this is a story. It was a thing before Snoop Dogg got involved.
But now
it's a bigger story.
Now.
Hip-hop icon Snoop Dogg has recreated his California-based home inside an Ethereum-based metaverse platform Sandbox. Okay? Ethereum-based metaverse platform called Sandbox. So, imagine like Roblox or The Sims or, I don't know, wherever you can create your own little home. He recreated his California mansion in the metaverse.
It's pretty crazy.
All right?
Right?
Now, this is also where NFTs come into play, too. Because how do you think you decorate a home in a metaverse?
With NFT artwork.
Shazam.
Boom.
Right? Think about that for a minute. Now, Snoop Dogg is this big investor, right? He has a home, his home. What a beautiful mansion in this virtual world, in this metaverse called Sandbox. Guess what? If you want to play in the Sandbox with Snoop Dogg, you can. But because this is such a hot
commodity?
No. Because this is such a hot, I guess, spot in the
metaverse.
In the metaverse.
Yeah.
Spot wasn't the word I was looking for. But it's not. How do I describe it? Either way.
Non-fungible?
Yeah, it's non-refungible.
Non-fungible?
If you want to live next to Snoop Dogg
in the metaverse,
because this is like hot real estate, I'll go with that. You got to pay for it. So because the world started to hear about it and they knew that Snoop Dogg was involved, to live next to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse has some clout and has some interest there. A dude bought the lot in the metaverse next to Snoop Dogg for $450,000.
I don't get it.
Do you want to tell people?
So-
you want to tell people what your brother said yesterday, or no?
If you want to tell people that you invested in property, you're basically investing in
virtual property.
And to live next to Snoop Dogg is only going to add in value. And how are you going to decorate your new home in your metaverse, in the Sandbox, with your NFTs and all this other shit? And now you've invested in something that's virtual, but you could see where the future's headed.
It is non-fungible.
Non-fungible, $450,000 the guy spent on just the lot.
Think about the artwork.
The fake lot.
Think about the artwork that Logan Paul and these guys will pay $700,000 for. Like, oh, I got this piece of artwork, this silly monkey meme that's like an artwork piece for, $1 million. Like,
well, the thing is, I was struggling, Rich, with like, you're buying real estate, but it's virtual real estate.
Yeah.
And is there a word for that? You're buying this spot. Like I said, that's what I was trying to think of. You're buying a fake space.
I'm thinking about buying a virtual space.
It's not that off the wall crazy because it's all starting to add up now.
I'm thinking about buying. I'm thinking about buying some MetaSpace. I'm thinking about buying NFTs. Every day I'm keeping my eye on. In fact, last night our buddy Narzan was saying Sandbox and Decentraland, which is Mana, M-A-N-A, the crypto Mana,
Show me your bulge.
is heavily involved in this, correct?
Yeah, Mana and Sandbox are probably the two biggest players right now, and they're on a dip. But
for instance,
it's gonna
Mana,
come back around.
And you've already invested in all this stuff. So when you hear the Snoop Dogg stuff, that just gets you probably more amped up about it.
Mana,
See it coming. It's
Mana
coming.
almost hit $6. It dropped to $3.75 a share, but it was 30 cents within the last year. In fact, it used to be like 5 cents, 10 cents. Now it's $3.75 a share. The cryptocurrency Mana, which is involved with a lot of this, virtual real estate, right?
Yeah, basically it's like the platform that allows you to build in the metaverse. There's all kinds of different Ethereum-based platforms, like Sandbox is one of them. So Snoop Dogg is using Sandbox to build his metaverse home. And then you go and you buy your NFTs, or you can use Mana. That's another platform, Ethereum-based as well. Sits on the blockchain.
Mana is easy to buy because Mana is available on Coinbase.
Yes.
So a lot of people are like, if it's on Coinbase.
Sandbox, you have to use a decentralized, like a KuCoin or something like that to buy it.
Get this. This is how it happened. Snoop Dogg tweeted out last Friday, "Won't you be my neighbor in the metaverse?" And again, that lot next to him sold immediately for $450,000. Land plots in the Sandbox are represented by and sold as non-fungible tokens that can be sold on any NFT marketplace, such as OpenSea. Are you sea breezing on OpenSea, Rich? With each having an independent value based on location. This means that one land plot can cost a lot more than another one. For instance, if you own next to Snoop Dogg's virtual mansion.
Hey, Spot, go up with the comments because I want to read some
But
of
hold
these
on,
because-
like think about it. My brother can't wrap his head around like NFTs, and he's very young, and he's hearing all his friends like, "Yeah, I'm gonna invest in an NFT. Gary Vaynerchuk said so. It's the next craze, and you got to invest now. This is like the .com era, and people were fucking making all that money." My brother is thinking about. He's like, "Bro, if this is really the next rage," I'm like, "Well, it's been the next rage.
It is.
He's like, "I'm gonna put 20 G's down on something, an NFT." I'm like, "NFT of what?" But now it makes sense because you have somewhere to display your NFT. You know, you got to buy a house in your metaverse. You got to get on Sandbox.
Gonna hang
You
a
got to
picture of-
invest in virtual property now.
Covino's nuts on my wall.
Yeah, how much is the NFT of your nuts?
Do you have it? It's a good one. Yeah, JC in Kentucky posted it.
Oh,
He's trying to sell it already.
Your nuts.
Yeah. How much would you pay for this to hang it on your, man cave in your virtual metaverse?
I just look at it this way. This
Did
has
I-
nothing to do.
This one?
No, those are my truck nuts. I got them coming out at the Covino and Rich store.
By the way, I want to make it very clear. I don't think this. I think someone said that's why I wanted you to go back on the feedback spot. Scroll down a little bit. I think someone was saying that this is like.
Tell me when.
What is it like? Something about like real property more. John Z said real property greater than virtual property. Austin said, "What's the name of the crypto again?" Mana, MANA.
Why do you say no though, Narzan? We were talking about this last night.
Hold on,
as
let me
well.
finish the feedback, and then I want Narzan to speak. Because let's see, people throwing money away on intangible things, mind-boggling. That's Rolando. Keep going down, Spot. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, but Rolando's not living that world, man.
NFTs are a way for rich people to get richer. Alex, it's a way for anyone, not rich people, not poor people, anyone that wants to.
Yeah.
It's a matter of investing in something. The average idiot could have put $100 into Bitcoin when it first started.
But it's different.
It's not different, Spot. It's reluctant. It's reluctant people.
It's different because it's more like art. Like art is a very subjective value. So NFTs are only given value if other people give them value.
No, but what I'm saying
So the
is
only
people
reason
think this
people-
is like a rich person thing or a nerd thing. It's anyone could do it. It's a matter of like
but
believing in it.
Rich, if I built a house in the metaverse and opened up property next to my house, no one's paying for that shit. It's people of value giving it value. So it is a way for the rich to make more money if you really look at it.
It is, that's true, but it's no different than real estate as well, because if a person who's wealthy buys a plot of land, that becomes a hot commodity. Other people want to buy
But it's
the
all a
same
ga-
area.
it's all
and
a gamble.
virtual land is like real land. It's limited.
It's like
It's not an infinite amount of land that you can own in the
Yeah, the
virtual
metaverse
world.
isn't
It's
infinite,
not
right?
infinite. It's limited. And when rich people start buying land to create that value, they're catering to not us, the younger generation. They spend 9-10 hours a day logged into something and living in that space.
it's
They're setting up for them, and they're the ones that are going to be.
It's
taking
interesting.
advantage of it.
It's really
it's
interesting.
the equivalent of saying I'm going to buy a property in what's a middle of nowhere place.
It's in Alberta, Canada.
It's in Alberta, Canada, right? And saying, all right, I want to buy a house here and hope that someday other people decide to move here. Or they're going to put a fucking Starbucks down the road or moving into it. It's the equivalent of waiting for gentrification. It's the equivalent of buying a house in
So
fucking
you have no
downtown,
interest in
in
investing
fucking
in this?
downtown.
You have no interest in investing in
I gotta
LA.
tell you. So I hear Rich talk about this a lot.
I do.
I saw this story about the metaverse. I've heard about, the Sandbox thing, but when I saw Snoop Dogg's story and this guy bought for that much, it did sort of make me rethink NFTs and how they work and buying that real estate and having the value involved.
You know what though? I honestly think I've passed the point where this is valuable to me. And I'll tell you why.
What do you mean you passed the point?
I've passed the point in society of my life where I think this is valuable to me because I think
You got the wrong idea, bro.
no, I think
I got COVID brain today.
I think the movie Ready Player One. I don't think we're going to be there in my lifetime. I think we're headed there,
Interesting. My feeling is,
but I don't think
My feeling
I don't
is
think
people-
I'll be able to enjoy it.
Right. You won't reap the
I
benefits
think
of
I'll
this.
reap benefits of actual money versus NFT property.
you're halfway through your life. You make it seem like you're an old guy.
I don't think in the next 40 years I'm
Okay,
going to be fucking
well-
living virtually.
My kids will reap the benefits
Yes.
of that. So maybe for me, it might be a good move.
Buy Melody.
In virtual land, but you can use the platforms that they're creating right now for people to have access to invest in that. Like Mana is not virtual land. It's the platform that people are using to build virtual land. I don't need to buy land to make money in the multiverse.
Right.
But if, like, for instance, Nike is getting involved in the metaverse, right?
Schnikes.
Because Nike is saying, "Hey, I could sell you a pair of Air Force Ones for $100, but you know what? Your avatar could have a pair of Air Force Ones for $100. So a real pair of Air Force Ones will probably be the same pair as a quote fake non-fungible.
Can I be like a hobo of the metaverse and like buy a cheap tent and just like camp out?
Yeah, you could. Hey, Narzan,
and
sit
rock
here, man.
$9
I'll be right
sneakers.
back.
Rock $9 sneakers.
Sit here for a second. I'll be right
No,
back.
Narzan, because I brought this up last night. I'm like, Rich, did you hear about this? And you saw it, man. Rich is the light bulb went off.
He called Doug.
Yeah, he called his buddy. He called our buddy Doug immediately. Like, what is this Ethereum-based metaverse sandbox thing? Covino tell me that Snoop Dogg sold that neighbor house for 450. Like, what's the deal? Should I invest tomorrow? He's like, He said 5. I was like, 5 what? He's dropping 5 on it.
5 G's.
500 or 500.
And he gave him a homework assignment. He's
Yeah,
like, bro.
But I got to tell you, it made me really interested, and it made the NFT stuff
It is
make
interesting,
sense.
but I also wonder, like I said this. I remember I watched the video on NFTs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like, is this going to be like the .com bubble where all this initial kind of making money and shuffling around and all this stuff happens?
Maybe, but the internet's not going anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
And is decentralized.
Much like .com, the .com bubble existed, right? All these things were so new and everyone was throwing money at them and everything, and then it just crashed. But the internet continued to go on.
But people made a lot of money.
Right.
Spots.
So you have if you really can understand it and get in on it, even though I think we're a little bit late.
Yeah,
if you can understand
probably.
and jump in on it and have the right people behind you, you can make money. But I don't think the average person can make the money that fucking Logan Paul or Snoop Dogg are making.
I don't think we're late because the multiverse is new.
Yeah.
To the average person, and as soon as it becomes mainstream popular, it's going to pump. So you don't need to buy the land, but you can get into the platforms that are using that right now to make money, and you can dump it when it goes to the bubble.
But what happens when you're like, you decide to invest in a form of the multiverse, which ends up being HD DVDs instead of Blu-ray, and everyone else then goes over to Blu-ray, and now you're exactly but I think the risk is so high right now. But that's part of the gamble of making money.
But it's all think from a younger person's perspective, right? Let's say Logan Paul buys a fucking plot of land in the metaverse, right? But he lives in Snoop Dogg's neighborhood. That's the hot spot you want to be in. They're going to be like, any young person is like, yeah, guess what neighborhood I'm going to live in my virtual fucking metaverse on Sandbox. I want to live in that Snoop Dogg, Logan Paul. Then next thing you know, Olivia Rodrigo and every fucking influencer and hot stars living there. And you're the one random person that bought land there, virtual land. Not only do you got the clout, but you made a great investment because someone else is going to want to buy that.
Look at it from the
right. And then, oh man, I live in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
It's a million and one shot, Doc. A million and one shot.
Next thing you know, that's the hot fucking thing.
It's
who knows?
Gary Vaynerchuk. I know he says innovate or die, but Gary Vee is also, he'll say that, but what he, I think, also means by that is every time a new social media comes about, everyone's first instinct is to be like, oh, fuck that. He does a video that you don't need to look for, but he talks about how when social media first started, everyone's like, nah, fuck that, it's lame. Then TikTok, grown-ups are like, no one's going to do Musically TikTok? No thanks. People did it with crypto. People do it with everything. People love to resist at first. And he's like, yo, just look at the metaverse, look at NFTs, look at all this stuff. And you're seeing people do the same thing. No, they're resistors. And then eventually, when it's worth an exorbitant amount of money and it's the way we live, you're going to say, oh man, I blew my opportunity. I just don't want to blow that opportunity spot. I look at it, and while I don't fully understand it,
there's too much risk. There's too many pathways. It's like there's no plan. There's no solid rule book on how to make money in this world yet.
Bro, you're being a contrarian today.
Hang on.
Narzan.
Go.
Everyone said the same thing about Bitcoin. Everyone said the same thing about Netflix. They're like, no one's going to want to stream online stuff. Everybody said the same thing about Facebook. Everyone said the same thing about all these things, and now it's part of our day-to-day.
Oh, please look this up. You're going to love it. Please, honestly, please look this up. Bill Gates.
He told you.
What?
He pointed at you to look it up.
Oh. Bill Gates on Letterman. Look up this clip.
I can't pull that up. So.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up.
Me looking that up does nothing. Anyway, I want to share that information with you guys. It's
what
a
is it
really
about,
interesting
Rich?
story. News. I could have told you this 2 days ago. Real estate in the virtual world went up already. I could have told you that shit a few days ago. But it came up in conversation last night, and I was like, well, we got to bring it up.
People
Sorry.
resist opportunities, right? Because they're scared, maybe?
Well, it's different. It's new. Yeah.
Like
new is scary. Yeah. New is scary.
Like 774 just texted and said, sounds like Spot has a fear of commitment based on the convo owning homes and getting into virtual investments. No risk equals no reward. But I also didn't work the last 20 years of my life to just hand it over to someone and watch it disappear.
Bro, you can't see this boom happening now?
I do.
Yeah. Well,
but It's
like
there's-
Rich said.
it's
There's
it's
24
like-
hours in a day.
I
And
feel like
young
I'm
people are
standing. I
spending
feel like I'm standing
the
in front
majority
of
of their day in this virtual world anyway.
I feel like I'm standing in front of a craps table with all my money and I'm putting it all down, and someone's gonna roll the fucking 7 and it's just gonna all disappear.
It's and we've seen this play out already in like Roblox, where kids, they don't want to wear the generic fucking avatar options. They don't. I know my kid doesn't. So they want to buy the dope shit that's offered, the accessories, the cool sneakers, the cool shirts. And it shows the other people like, yeah, I'm just not some basic generic
Like, to
fucking
me-
character. I got this shit and I paid for it. That's happening on a bigger level now. Like, yeah, I'm not, I own property
Like
now.
to me, Yeezys are fucking plastic pieces of garbage, but because they were assigned value by Kanye West, everybody wants them.
Yeah, but that's your
this
opinion.
Is how this is how an
That's
NFT.
just your opinion.
That's your opinion.
Who
NFTs
cares
are
about
an
your
opinion.
opinion when it's it's like
I can make
Mr.
an
Wonderful
I
on
can
Shark
make an
Tank.
NFT right now.
Mr. Wonderful a lot of times says, "I don't care about the product. Is it going to make me money?"
I can make an
Like,
NFT
you're-
right now. What does that mean?
It means something if someone's willing to buy it
Spot.
and putting it, and now
Exactly.
has somewhere to put
Because
it.
it's being given assigned value by
Yeah.
the masses.
Spot.
Well, guess
It's
what? If you
nuts.
make one
Spot.
good enough,
Covino's-
Snoop Dogg might want to hang it over his fucking
Covino's
fireplace.
daughter.
Have you seen the ones that have sold for millions
Doesn't
of dollars?
matter.
They're
It's
fucking
subjective, bro.
Exactly.
But it
It's
doesn't
art.
matter what you think. People are paying. It doesn't matter if it's stupid to you. If there's value, then who cares if you're investing in it? Who cares what it is? If there's money to be made.
To think that this isn't the future is wildly crazy.
It's Wednesday.
It's wildly crazy.
Yeah, as stupid as the Snoop Dogg story is, it made it make a lot of sense to a guy like me. Narzan was already invested in it. And he was like super stoked. He's like, yeah, man, that's fucking great news.
But Mana is in the $3 range.
Right.
I talked to even Dougie, who's great at reading
But
the
now
charts
you're-
and stuff, and
I know.
Doug said it's probably a great buy if it dips a little to like 3-ish.
Now hold on.
But-
You're talking about investing in something that is the structure of the NFT crypto world.
Yeah.
That's different. I'm talking about actually investing in NFTs. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that too.
And in property.
yeah, because these young kids,
Investing in
these
a
young kids are
stock?
putting value in it, Spot.
Spot,
You're,
Roblox,
we
you're
don't care.
investing. You're talking about investing in a stock that supports the infrastructure. Actually, investing in what's inside the infrastructure is another thing, which I think is even riskier. That's where the value is all over the place. If you told me, I have no problems investing in men. I have no problems with that because that is a infrastructure that people will invest in. You give me the signal.
he gave me the signal 2 times.
You gotta
That's
wave high.
exactly
Wave
what
high.
I
can't
said.
see you.
It's while the rich people are out there buying virtual land, we can invest in the platforms that are allowing them to do that and make money because they're the ones that are driving the trends. They're the ones that are
Right, but
pushing
I-
this
You
needle.
don't have to
But where
invest
the
in the
big money,
property.
Exactly.
but where the
You
big
invest
money
in the
is
companies
made,
doing that.
Right.
But where the big money is made is in the actual property and investments itself. We're just talking about that. People aren't spending $450,000 on Mana. They're spending $450,000 on a plot next to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that guy's gonna have he's gonna have some bragging rights in the
That's
young
what
person's world.
That's the thing I'm arguing here. I'm not arguing what you're investing in.
What do you think Roblox valuation is?
They're public, man. That's a public fucking
Probably
company now.
really high.
Crazy. Roblox
Probably-
value
I'm not denying that.
overall. I don't know.
Well, I think we're
Fucking
arguing.
billion.
I think we're arguing two different things here. Are
What
we
is
arguing
it?
two different things? I believe I believe in the world, the crypto world. I believe all that. I fully support it. I am saying the valuation of the things within inside that world is what I struggle with.
But that's like you said, art is subjective.
Right.
You compared it to art.
That's what I'm talking
what
about.
we think is
You're
horseshit.
talking-
Someone's willing to pay
You think
$1
I'm
million
shitting on
for?
You think I'm shitting on NFTs and the world? I'm not. I'm not shitting on the metaverse. I'm shitting on the valuation of things inside the metaverse. And I think that's where people are going to lose a lot of money.
Snoop Dogg just hit us up and he says, "Yeah, live next to me." Thank you.
Virtually.
By the way, to answer your question, how much do you think?
Thanks, Snoop.
How much you think Roblox is valued at? What's their
I
valuation?
don't know. I don't know.
Take a
It went
guess.
public, in the past year. It's been around for a long time. Kids fucking love it because they could create their own stores. They could create their own opportunities to sell and make money there. They can create their own games. Kids have created games that are worth millions of dollars. So in this little metaverse of Roblox, would that be a proper use of it? In this virtual world, it could, I don't know, the value fucking, are we talking virtual money? Are we talking crypto money? Are we talking real money? I'm thinking billions. But at this point,
see, I can't. Sometimes
Roblox is
sometimes when
huge.
people don't understand, it's hard to explain. Like Bill is saying, like Rich talks about whataboutisms, but the metaverse, to say that's not in the same vein as a Roblox, you're crazy. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, they sort of. I don't want to say they're the first to set up that sort of platform, but
Roblox,
it makes sense when you think from the Roblox level of progression.
Roblox has doubled since it's went public. Roblox is currently valued at $30 billion.
$30 billion? That's fucking
$30 billion.
That's ridiculous.
$30 billion.
Yeah, you know, when I said $1 billion, it made me laugh because I know these kids that make these games are making like multi-millions of dollars. So I'm like, yeah, that's craziness.
I know where we're headed.
Where?
Ready Player One. I know where we're
Okay.
headed. We're headed that way. I know it. I just don't know. Like, I feel like it's so early to see what's going to be valued and
which is
what
the
everyone's
reason
going
you
to
should
back.
do it now.
Like, Rich, I don't think you were here for my HD DVD versus Blu-ray thing. Like, you know,
There were people that believed in HD DVD. And
right.
yeah,
Like, if I invest in the Ethereum blockchain versus a different blockchain, am I investing in HD DVD versus Blu-ray? You see that? I don't know where everyone's going to focus, because there will only end up being one if you want everything to work together.
Yeah. Your dad said, what did your dad say?
They all kind of communicate.
Rich get richer and you're in the same place. Wise up. And wise up, I hope he means like your brother who is getting involved. And you know you don't want to be, to wrap this up, it's getting boring now. Here's my thought. You just don't want to look back in 10 years from now and be like, it was right there for the taking and we played dumb.
Yep.
You don't want to be. You
Because
don't
a
want to
few
be
years from now, that $450,000 investment is going to be
and you don't
a
need
lot
to,
more than that.
And you don't need to buy a house next to Snoop Dogg for $400,000. I'm just saying something involved in the NFT world, the crypto world, this new world that is so hard to grasp the concept of it at first. You're 45 years old. You don't want to be 55 and be like, would you believe it if I invested in Mana or some NFTs or this crypto coin or that? You don't want to be the guy looking back saying, man, I was stubborn and unwilling to really take a chance on something new, right?
Well, there you have it. The Metaverse Sandbox, again, is Ethereum based.
Should I start building?
Look into that shit.
Building our studio in the Metaverse.
Yeah, why not?
Where do you guys want to live?
I don't know, but maybe we could pay for people to be guests on our virtual show.
People
in the Metaverse.
People are.
I thought you wanted to move on.
People are already building the infrastructure where every company will have meetings and conferences in the Metaverse. Like your avatar will be in a conference room with other people's avatars.
I feel like our studio is pretty much half is the Metaverse. Those lights aren't real. That tree isn't real. That neon sign isn't real.
Yeah, the lines are getting blurred, man. Do
you want to be the guy that pissed away his
what
money?
What is really what's your reality when you're spending more time on the fucking
real
on the phone half the time?
Do you want to be the guy that pissed away his money though? Nothing's guaranteed. But Andrew, with all risk, with all reward comes risk, right? Like I bought a Bitcoin.
By the way,
I bought a Bitcoin when it was
is a hologram.
I bought a Bitcoin for when it was less than $10,000. That could have been $10,000 that became zero, right? And then I would have been like, man, what a dumb move. But that Bitcoin's now between $50,000 and $60,000, and who knows where it's going to go. But again, it could go.
Oh, but Richie, it's not worth anything unless you find someone willing to buy it.
That's not true because crypto you could trade right now. I could sell it right now. It's not like I have to find someone to buy it. True. You could just sell it right now. Okay. Bitcoin flashbacks. I used to trade it when it was $100 to $400, and I lost interest. Oh my God, Matt, I'm so sorry.
Can you imagine if you had like thousands of coins?
Yeah. Well, hey. Can we break it up with
Matt,
a picture?
do you have Pokemon cards? Because they're really up in value right now.
Can we change tones here for a second?
I mean, I've been trying to.
No, but
that's just one story.
No, there's one icebreaker that one way to, what do we call it? A little palate cleanser. Spot, can you go on our Instagram story and show people? I have an exclusive photo of Covino taking the bus.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if people saw this. Covino, I know you haven't taken the bus since your Jersey days from Union. What was it? The 22? Route 22 bus?
114.
The 114 to
Jersey Transit.
To Port Authority?
Yeah.
It's been a while, but.
Way back Wednesday. It's a flashback for sure.
You're going to have to text me the photo. The gram's down.
Oh, the gram's down? No.
Gram is down? Wow. Well, let me continue with some other
stories.
stories.
I think I can get it right here.
Okay. I'll continue with some other stories.
Got it.
Yeah, here's Covino.
I'm going to tell you stories, and then I just want your take, and we'll move on.
Yeah,
Make it quick.
Cool.
There I am.
Covino on the bus.
It's weird. because no one ever wanted to sit next to me.
It's odd.
So I just sat in that seat. But yeah, feels like a lifetime ago.
It was so long ago.
If you're not watching, then where the fuck you at?
Where the fuck you at?
All right, so quick stories. Tommy Fury is out. Tommy Fumbles, as Jake Paul calls him, is out. Woodley's in.
Oh, is this rando news?
Do you care?
Yeah.
Rando news.
This is
Rando
Oh,
news.
it's gonna be rando news. All right.
Rando news. I'll make it quick though.
All right. The news. Rando news brought to you by D's Nuts.
Rando news brought to you by D's motherfucking nuts.
D's Nuts.
Shout out to JC in Kentucky.
.com/Covino Rich.
Shout out to Chris Benson.
For all
Shout
your
out to a lot of
needs.
you guys. I'll get to more shout outs and shard outs. But Tommy Fury's out. We were all excited about Tyson Fury's half brother fighting Jake Paul. People were saying Jake Paul's going to get hurt because this dude's a real fighter. But he's out. He got hurt. Woodley's in. So a rematch with Woodley is going to be in. And I believe Jake promised him $500,000 extra if he wins or knocks him out or some shit like that. So there you go. That's the update. Oh, and speaking of real fights, Lomachenko fights Comey this weekend. And it's really interesting for the lightweight division in the world of real fights because Devin Haney just won. Tank Davis just won. Teofimo just lost. And Comey is the guy that Teofimo got his first belt from. So he's no joke either. So Lomachenko back this weekend. Just some fight updates real quick.
It's Lomachenko's last fight when he lost to Teofimo?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
No. He's won a fight since. So this will be his second fight since he lost all the belts.
His star faded.
I've been saying this. Again, we can make this quick, right?
Am I right about saying that, though?
Who, Teofimo's or Lomachenko's?
Lomachenko was like the pound-per-pound best fighter, and then all of a sudden, like just like that, like he lost and no one talks about him anymore.
But you never know. You catch people on a bad day, right? Like Teofimo lost all his belts that he got from Lomachenko, right? Teofimo,
even the braided one?
Yeah, but they're saying that he had air in his lungs that night, and he could have died. Yeah. So, I mean, you catch someone on a bad night, it's about coming back. That's what makes it a great story. Is his star faded? We'll find out, right? People love comebacks. I hate to say this, but I've been saying this. I said the writing's on the wall in the NFL. Writing's on the wall in the NFL. And it says, for a good time, call Rich. Remember that? Remember that joke?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, writing's on the wall.
And I said, no, Kilroy
Also
was
says
here.
fart.
Yeah.
Fart.
It says Spot was here. And now the stats are out. A Buccaneers-Patriots Super Bowl is now the most likely matchup according to ESPN's Football Power Index with a 10% chance of happening. But
Wait,
can't
10% is the most likely?
Yeah, most likely.
Well,
I mean, think of the odds.
32 teams
right?
in the league. And
but when you
there's
see the momentum of the Patriots this week and you see how Tom Brady's heating up again just like last year, they have both teams have all the tools to make this happen. It just seems so likely and would be great.
I thought we had all the tools.
I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Writing's on the wall, man.
I don't think either team's going to make it, if you ask me.
Really?
I think it's going to be Packers, Chiefs.
Mark my words. Well, you're on team Stephen A. Because Screaming A. Smith is like, fact of the matter is the Patriots are the best team in the NFL right now. And Anthony Davis should be embarrassed. You're one of the top 5 players in the NBA. He should be taking control of the Lakers right now.
That's what Charles Barkley said, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Charles Barkley said that too.
Yeah, Charles Barkley getting heat for that.
So,
but no, I think if you, I mean, granted, I know 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but
it's likely though.
I mean, still 1 out of 10 chance.
It's starting to.
It's all weird stats.
It's starting to feel that way.
I don't feel that way. I feel that way.
I'm not saying that it's right. It's starting to feel like it's the inevitable.
I don't know. There's a part of me. I know that. Don't get me wrong. New England's 9-4, but if you look at the AFC,
and Buccaneers are 9-3.
I think Kansas City. I think Baltimore. Even Cincinnati when they're playing hot. I don't know. I think there's just teams that I could see making the Super Bowl more than New England. New England just is a good team, but I think in those, if you would tell me right now, answer. If I were to say
all
AFC,
the other teams haven't been as consistent.
If I were to say AFC divisional game, Ravens, Patriots, who are you picking?
Patriots.
Really? If I were to say, all right,
they're
Mahomes,
so well coached.
Mahomes. You think Mahomes is going to lose to the Patriots?
I'd say they put up a
fight. You think
fight.
Mac Jones and that team beats fucking Patrick Mahomes?
Again, matchups. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I'm gonna say.
I hate to say it, but we're winning lots of football games now. We're kind of back, but I don't want to say it.
I think you're looking at honestly, my pick is really boring. It's Packers Chiefs.
Okay, that's great.
I think Aaron Rodgers finally has a clearer path. I think it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. I think the AFC narrows it down to that, and I think the AFC, New England, Buffalo. I mean, there's so many teams in the AFC. I'm still not.
All right,
buying.
moving on. Speaking of, I didn't get to do the rando news the past 2 days because no one wanted to hear it, quote unquote. But the Lions won their Super Bowl over the Vikings, and I know it's old news now. It's their first win of the season.
Yeah,
on a walk-off touchdown.
Touchdown!
But what was cool is they dedicated that win to the kids in Michigan. That was the cool story. Nice, heart tugger, and just a class act. You didn't think so?
I thought so.
Yeah, it was really cool that they did that. I'm moving around. Juicy Smollett was in the news. If you go to Vice.com, right? And again, I just want to scroll through this. We don't need to stop. But Juicy Smollett testified that his allegedly attacked case, he did drugs and masturbated with one of his alleged attackers in a shocking twist to the two brothers who attacked Smollett.
I don't even know anything about that story because I don't want to know anything about that story. You know that stories that like to you...
It's according to Vice.
No, but I'm saying, you know how certain things don't resonate? Right? To me, it's like, the Juicy Smollett thing.
Yeah.
I have when I tell you 0.0 interest because I'm like...
Wait, moving on.
No,
I'm just giving you...
I'm,
this isn't news. I'm just giving you headlines.
But what I'm saying, I wonder if other people feel the same way, where there's headlines that sometimes you're like, ooh, I'm pulled in. I want to see what happened. Like, if you tell me, the Gabby Petito story was, sad. Or let's say there was a story about the school shooting. You start looking at things where you're like, oh, I want to read up more because it's a story I want to be in the loop on. The Juicy Smollett thing of, him, scheming a fake attack. I'm like, he got caught. Oh, I didn't want to hear about it. I'm uninterested.
I don't care much either.
Juicy Smollett.
Of course, we already discussed they took the Staples Center sign down here in LA for Crypto.com Arena, which begins December 25th. But it was weird when you see them taking these, letters down from the arena.
Yeah.
In other rando news, again, I'm working toward it because there's a lot of Stallone stuff that I want to talk about. Okay. Stallone's in the news for 3 different things.
I hear Spot coming back. He had a theory on Crypto.com. Remember he said, he goes, I have a theory on that. So you might have to go back to that.
He's just disagreeing with everything today. He's in a salty pants sort of mood.
I think so too.
He needs a haircut. He's getting a haircut today. He'll feel good tomorrow.
Okay.
Nick Cannon, we were talking about the fucking hog in his pants yesterday. His newborn passed away.
I know.
That sucks. Terrible news. His 5-month-old.
She had a brain tumor.
With a brain tumor.
It's the worst.
So sad.
Yeah.
Sad story. So, on the positive, he's got a Rod Roddy in his pants. And that's more fun than talking about the sad death of his baby.
So condolences to
absolutely, yeah,
Nick Cannon.
The other day, I was talking about when people get to a certain age, they really just don't want their shit anymore.
Yeah.
They want other people to have it, right? We talked about Stallone. Yeah, why is he selling all his shit? It means a lot more to other people, Guess who else is doing it? And I guess, look, it's the holidays and they're doing things for charity.
It's the
I get all that.
holiday season.
Our buddy Henry Winkler's in the news. What? Hi, he's selling his motorcycle, his Fonzie jackets, all that shit.
Yeah, what does he need it for?
Yeah, exactly. But on the same day we were talking about Stallone and why, Henry Winkler came out and he was the next dude. Did you see that, Spotty?
I did not.
Yeah, look, I think I sent...
When's his auction?
It's already happening. Oh. Hi.
I sort of feel bad for Juicy Smollett.
Why?
It's I don't know. Don't beat yourself up over it.
It's a good one.
Get it.
Woo! That was dumb. So yeah, Henry Winkler's next in line.
Happy
Again, he's doing it
days.
for charity though, but he's selling all his shit.
Yeah.
All of his stuff, the stuff that he was proud to show us. Hi guys, this is the script.
Is he selling his jet skis?
Oh, it happens
Is
today.
he selling his skis that he jumped the shark with?
It's going on today.
My water skis?
Remember, his leather jackets are in
gonna
the
be-
Smithsonian.
let's see.
Smithsonian Institute. So
He said there's a couple of them.
he has 6 of them or whatever, but he's selling them. Again, for
And
charity.
this goes to charity, so that's great. Let's see. The Fonz outfit, Levi jeans, white t-shirt, black engineer boots, and iconic leather jacket. Jacket is one of 7.
I'm buying a property next to the Cunningham's house. It's a good idea.
Oh, his overalls, his mechanic overalls, and then scripts, photos, and letters.
I think that's kind of cool.
I'm buying the apartment above the garage spot at the Cunningham's. Is that cool? Good idea?
Oh, the auction will also feature one of Will Ferrell's Buddy the Elf costumes from Elf.
So people are auctioning good things. Nice.
Stallone made $437,000 selling his notes. His notes that he had.
Notes.
These are my notes. So I got a lot of Stallone updates because we love Stallone.
Yeah.
Apparently he's been cast in some like mob shit. He's been cast in a brand new mob drama for Paramount called Kansas City. The project brings together Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan and Sopranos writer Terrence Winter. And Stallone's going to produce. So that's kind of cool.
Nice.
In other news for Stallone.
Do you think I should buy one of his jackets?
Why not? He says, be an alligator. A thick skin is necessary to get through life. Just throwing out some Stallone motivation. I thought that was good.
Nice.
And I just wanted to do the Stallone voice. But Rich, I think you would like this story. Spot, you have to go to official Sly Stallone on his Instagram to pull this one up. Again, this is a few days old. But
did he auction off his football plays from Waterboy?
No. Oh, Winkler?
Yeah.
He should, right? Yeah,
It's
Bill
his-
Belichick bought him. So Stallone posted a picture, and this is, look, that's it for the random news. I don't really give a fuck about any of these stories. I really don't. I'm going Stallone because this leads to something else. He says in a post, it's a picture of him and a black dude wearing like some disco 70s outfit. Looks like one of those black disco guys that kick ass in like Tekken. He says, for people that are little known, people that want some little known facts, here's one. I don't remember this gentleman's name, but until Carl Weathers showed up, this fellow was going to play Apollo Creed. Fate
Whoa.
or just bad luck. Now, I think it's wild to me that he doesn't even know the guy's name. But this guy
This would have been
would
Apollo
have been
Creed.
Apollo Creed. That's got a sting. The king of sting.
Wow.
Because Apollo Creed ended up being in Rocky 2, Rocky 3. Was he in Rocky 3? Yeah. Rocky
He
4.
helped train Rocky.
Yeah.
Remember they jumped in each
Yep.
other's arms on the
Yes,
beach?
yes, of course, yeah.
In the most,
Rocky
the most
4.
homoerotic straight man scene of all time.
He would have been in 4
yesterday
Rockies.
was the most homoerotic straight man scene of all
He
time.
was this close because we just talked about. Imagine if there was one guy that got in the way of your dream, and we said, "Yeah, Michael Jordan." Who else did we say? Why did we even bring that up? You remember?
Someone getting in the way of your dream.
Like Michael Jordan stopped all those dudes from winning championships back in the day. I forget why we were talking about
about
that.
a casting or something, I think.
But Carl Weathers was the one guy that came in and cockblocked that dude. That dude must have been dynamic. This guy's daddy. I could see him being Apollo.
Well,
and then
it's a lot
fucking
of that.
everything changed. And how do you think that dude's family, like, they're like, yo, you don't remember his name? That's my uncle fucking Clarence.
Uncle Clarence could have been Apollo Creed.
Could have been Apollo Creed, man. Could have been a household name.
I was talking.
Think of Carl Weathers.
Uh,
Carl Weathers was an athlete. He was he was on the Raiders, wasn't he? He was an ex-professional football player turned Hollywood actor.
Who was I talking to this about?
So-
I was talking about Buddy Zach. We were talking about how Eric Stoltz, like it's a really famous one, but Eric Stoltz, he was Marty McFly, and
Yeah, but
like
Eric Stoltz went on to have a pretty successful acting career.
decent career, but I mean,
No,
not
dude, he was
Michael
in
J.
Pulp
Fox
Fiction.
career.
He was in a lot of John Hughes movies. A lot of people know and respect
I
Eric
guess
Stoltz. He
so.
just wasn't in Back to the Future.
Yeah, no,
This
I mean-
guy's stars and life would have changed forever if he would have got that part. We don't even, Stallone doesn't even know his name. We don't know his name. We don't know what happened to that guy. He could have been a household name for one of the biggest movie franchises in history.
Maybe if they picked the wrong actor, this is a good point, Jason. They picked the wrong actor. Maybe there's no Rocky 2.
Maybe. Hey, everything happens for a reason. As Fred
Reason.
Durst says and Rich said yesterday. But I thought that was pretty interesting, you know? Like that guy.
You know?
You know? Like, hey.
Pretty
So-
interesting, you know?
Just some stuff I'm throwing out there.
All right.
And I'll give you a nut update. How about that?
A nut update, and then I have one little fun story to end the show.
Camel nut update.
Yeah.
I have a theory. Yesterday, I broke the internet, guys.
You did.
Accidentally. Like, I was,
You got the
All
video
right,
blocked.
look, hey, that shit was funny as hell, but I was equally embarrassed. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, but that shit was funny. I don't know.
Gotta put it out there.
We're gonna post
You
a
gotta
little
put 'em both
video.
out.
We're gonna post a little video today,
That's
Spot.
the
You gonna put
spot.
something together?
Yeah, I wanted to do something, but he was like really
No, we
sensitive.
could do it. We agreed that we're just gonna not
I
black
know,
it out,
but it
but
was,
blur it out a little bit.
I know. He was really sensitive about his nuts yesterday.
Well, I mean, would you want your nuts out there?
I don't mind.
It's, you know, it's not like
I mean,
there's no
beautiful.
repercussions.
They're beautiful nuts.
So many updates. I have a theory.
Why deny the world that art?
I have a theory, though. Yesterday, I was wearing Lululemon pants, right? And they're like kind of stretchy pants, whatever.
Lemons for sure.
Smuggling lemons.
Lulu orange.
Lulu's smuggling some fucking giant lemons in my pants.
Lulu cantaloupes.
They make a pant, and I'm not even making this up. I swear to you. It's a high-end brand, so it's going to sound like I'm making this up, but it's a real thing. They're called ABC pants. ABC pants by Lululemon.
Another bad creation?
No, they leave off the D because you provide it.
No, you know what the ABC stands for? Anti-ball crushing pants.
Shut up.
So
I know he's being true. I know this.
And that's really what they're called, which sounds fake for a high-end brand. ABC pants, anti-ball crushing, meaning maybe I was exposed that way because there's a little satchel and a pocket like that.
Because not going to crush. So these pants are designed not to crush your ball. So when you do that squatting move, there's a little
give. There's a give. Yeah.
Ball give.
Providing the.
Were you wearing underwear?
Of course. What do you think I am? Fucking caveman?
I don't know. They were like
Tarzan. You don't wear underwear, right?
Really? I don't ever not wear underwear. That's a weird question.
Free ball all day.
So anyway,
A, B, C, D's nuts.
I'm thinking, it had something to do with that. I didn't know. I was squatting, and from behind, you saw the rear dog.
Oh, people know. And if you don't know,
it's like being at a petting zoo, and you're like, you see the size of those nuts on that goat, or am I the only guy? I was the goat yesterday.
You're on Wall Street.
Greatest of
You're
all
on
time.
Wall Street, and people take pictures with the bull's balls.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to start taking pictures of you and your balls.
You see the nut on that fucking bull?
That's his side hustle.
I was that guy yesterday. I didn't mean to be. So we had a great laugh at my expense. I thought it was funny, but I was embarrassed. And my girlfriend Jordan, she doesn't watch the tier 2 video. She should. She's a cheapskate.
I mean, why don't you just give her access?
Because she wants to support, I guess, right? And she doesn't watch. She just listens anyway. She sees me all day. She doesn't need to see this shit.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
So I told her about it, and she's like, well, why'd you do that? I was like, well, I was just trying to improvise and have fun with Rich. I didn't know my balls were going to sag out like that.
I don't think anyone was prepared.
Then again, the sag is back. So, I'm rocking the sag. The sack man.
No one was prepared.
The sack man. Stephen Anthony Covino.
He's the sack man.
Long story short, here's what she said. She wanted to see. She heard us laughing.
Yeah.
She says to Spot, can you send me a clip of this? I got to see this. She goes, Spot sent me a video. I cannot believe what I saw.
I just sent her access. I sent her the show yesterday. I sent her access to the show.
She's like, what is that? She goes, did you see it? She says to me. I'm like, what do you mean you can't believe what you saw? She goes, I can't believe they showed through your pants. This is why you and I were at dinner eating yesterday. Yeah. I go, me neither. Ha, ha, ha. She goes, holy shit. It was so funny. I sort of cracked the Jordan code because she only laughs at cat videos. What else? I said it the other day. Cat videos. And I guess like my nuts. but there was another one. Cat, what was that? What did I say?
Cat videos.
So Jordan has a weird sense of humor. She's always laughing at cat videos.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner and your nuts.
That was it. And my nuts. She goes, holy shit, that was so funny. I hope you let him repurpose this in some sort of way on TikTok.
You're going to get...
She goes, I wish you were here when I watched it. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard at you. At me. Ever. At me. See, that's the thing.
That's great.
So
it's fun, dude. That was
we talked, and I said
that was the best. If there was ever a time to get tier 2,
oh my god,
Covino's nuts the holiday season.
I almost hate to give it away for free, but
blur it out, Spot.
So I did say
I'm gonna put Christmas balls.
Oh,
over
nice. Okay,
look,
his nuts.
You gotta capture the laughter, and I don't want that moment to get lost because it is funny. But at the same time, they're my nuts. And I am someone's dad and shit like that.
Oh,
so yeah,
stop
Spot, like block it out. Block it out and put it out there. It was a funny ass moment, man. It was funny as hell.
What made it funny, while your nuts were the source of the laughter,
blur it out.
The fun came in our reaction to it.
Yeah.
It was us just laughing at the whole situation.
Oh, and you want to know the truth?
Watching it back was even better.
I don't know
when
if
we
I
watched
said
it back
this.
yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the fun part.
I don't know if I said this on the air or not, but here's what was happening. Rich said, yeah, pretend like you're doing squats. So I got up on the chair to pretend. And I got real low, because we know how women do it.
It makes me laugh.
I heard Spot laughing, like really laughing, like belly laughing, I'm like, and I just thought like, wow, this must look really funny. Like, so you remember when SpongeBob split his pants so he continued doing shit to make people laugh? I really leaned into it more because I thought you were just laughing with me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is really bringing down the house. My squat routine here.
Yeah.
I didn't know my nuts were hanging out until, a few seconds later.
Wow.
So anyway, that's the camel nut update brought to you by these nuts. Hope you enjoyed the rando news.
People loved it.
Real quick, because I did want to bring this up, and I know you got something else to talk about. Fuck, it's getting late. I could save it for tomorrow. What do you
Write it down.
Want me to save my shit for tomorrow too?
Write it down.
I got it written down.
I could save till tomorrow. You want to just do this quick? It's a good one. They have come up with the list of the most mispronounced words of 2021.
You know what baffles me? A lot of people say, they're doing things for success. I'm like, how do you get success when you say success all the time? I hate that. Drives me berserk.
I agree.
I can't. Like, you're never going to be successful. Keep saying success. Then again, a lot of people prove me wrong.
Success.
I'm like, well, maybe your first start is like learn how to pronounce it. It's success. But
trying to get success.
Yeah, that drives me berserk. But is it like one of those espresso things?
No, I mean,
that's always on the list.
I know, espresso. I get it. No, these are more current words that mispronounced words of 2021 based on social media, based on
Is Omicron on there?
Omicron is on the list.
Is it on the list?
But then again, you said
I did it.
there is no real right way to say it, right?
According to the New
what do
York
you
Times.
think the right way to say it is?
Omicron.
Or is it Omicron?
No, Omicron.
Omicron.
People want to know is
Omicron.
Is Billingsley on that list?
Billingsley.
Billingsley.
Oh.
What'd you say?
He
Omicron.
was laughing at how I say purpose last night.
Yeah.
How do you say purpose?
Purpose.
Oh no, not purpose. You say what you say weird is
Just one thing.
no. He says some Canadian shit weird.
A boot?
Toque?
No, not a boot.
A toque?
Oh, he goes like, I was talking to Narzan about the whole idea of buying a house and going through the home improvements, and he just keeps saying the word process.
Oh, process.
I'm like, do you mean process? But I keep going. I'm like, yo, how many times is this guy gonna say process?
Process.
Bro, Rich, I'm with you, man, because I bought this sweet place up in Canada, and man, the whole process. Process.
I mean, we
trust
all
Canadians.
do this from time to time.
No, but these are more not all time like espresso, process. These are more like 2021.
Process.
Okay. Oh, 2021.
Yeah,
All right.
the most mispronounced words of 2021.
All right.
TikTok.
Big superstar singer. Your daughter loves her. Billie
Eilish.
That is a top list of
Eilish.
people. I guess maybe older people or other people out of them. They're like Eilish. Like, so Billie Eilish
Okay.
is a very mispronounced word in 2021.
It's a good one.
Another one. My wife taught me this word because apparently it's when some girl, this is how we're getting so much older now. When a girl now looks like she's from the 2000s or like very like a basic girl from the 2000s, the word chuggy.
I never heard this word.
I heard him say it a long time ago.
Well, it's a popular word among a different generation. You shouldn't really know it, I guess.
You know what people have problems
Chuggy
saying?
is on the list.
Fuck Joe Biden. Sounds just like Let's Go Brandon.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, Spud.
Good one.
It's the most mispronounced thing.
Speaking
the most
of
mispronounced thing of 2021.
Speaking of politics, I think a lot of times to me, this is done simply out of disrespect. But she's our vice president, Kamala Harris. If I hear one more person be like Kamala or
I do that
Kamala,
sometimes.
like it's
So
Kamala
I can't lie,
Harris.
but I know it's Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Is it that hard? She's not the wrestler with the stars on his nipples, Kamala. It's Kamala Harris. Is that really that hard?
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to change how you say it. Like I've said it wrong for so long, and I'm like, fuck, I have to correct myself. It's like my daughter's tutor, right? My daughter's tutor. Her name was, I called her Sarit. Sarit. I found out recently is Sarit. But guess what I keep finding myself saying? I know it's Sarit. I keep saying Sarit.
Just pretend like you're saying sweet, but it's Sarit.
You know, that's the thing with Kamala Harris, I think. It's like, yeah, we know it's Kamala. And that doesn't make it right or okay or make me right. I'm just giving you the reasoning. Like, fuck. Can't teach this old dog now that it's Kamala. I've been saying Kamala. The Ugandan giant.
The Ugandan headhunter.
So go ahead.
I can't believe this one is still on the list. It'll drive you insane.
It's Sarit, Dad. I know.
So you got,
sorry, I'm not disrespecting.
You got Omicron.
Sarit.
You got Chugi. You got Eilish.
How do you spell Chugi again?
Chueggy.
Chugi.
Not how I pictured it.
No.
I pictured it with two O's
And
a G and
IE.
a G and an IE.
Yeah.
Chugi.
The fact that this one's on it makes me so mad. I'm going to save it for last.
These are mispronounced word of 2021, by the way.
Yeah, the most mispronounced words. This one I get because in the beginning, when it first came out, I mispronounced it. And then finally you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Dogecoin.
That's a big one.
People were saying dog coin, doggy coin,
I still don't know how to pronounce it.
Dogecoin, Doge. Dogecoin. The cryptocurrency.
Called Doge. Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Another popular
Dogecoin.
mispronounced word of
Doge.
2021. Eilish, we said. Ethereum. A lot of crypto words are being mispronounced by people. Ethereum.
Isn't it spelled sort of phonetically right?
There's an athlete who made this list because he's very popular. Travis Kelce. A lot of people will say Travis Kels because it's Kelce.
Yeah.
So it made the list.
see that.
Like a Brett Favre thing.
Yeah,
I see that.
And I'll throw one more on there that's in the top 10 that to me is like, yo, after all this time, are you serious? It made the list. Chipotle.
Still?
There's still the idiots that do the Sebastian Maniscalco. Chipotle. No, it's not Chipotle. It's not Chipotle. It's not Chipotle. It's Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Like the sauce, like the flavoring, right? Like Chipotle. Like what? Chipotle. When people say Chipotle,
It's chili. It's the smoked.
Come on.
Yeah. So
Gabriel Moreno says, I purposefully call Roblox Robux. Robux are what you spend in Roblox.
Yeah.
So you will be corrected, but Robux.
C is in Robux.
Yeah.
C is Robux. Go.
It works. Robux isn't necessarily wrong because you're spending Robux on Roblox. Dad, can I have money for Robux again? Yeah, I want to buy these fake virtual fucking clothes for my avatar. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Merry Christmas. Oh, and to back this all up and to round out today's conversation. See, it all comes together. Bro. Good show today.
Brav.
Good show today. Yo,
Boy, brav.
Yo, Nars.
Narzan.
Fun time today. I saw something out of, is it the USA Today or is it the USA Today?
Well, that's the one they sell in the barrio.
Yeah.
It's a different one.
It's an article out of the USA Today.
You were USA Today?
And I saw the same thing in Forbes.
They sell the USA one in my neighborhood.
So
yeah, they do. Mean streets of LA.
When I saw it in the USA Today and Forbes magazine, it's Forbes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gift cards and cash are being replaced by crypto and NFTs as holiday presents.
See? Full circle.
Shut up.
And by the way, the Roblox gift cards are everywhere now, right? You go to CVS.
Yeah.
I know that they have this whole thing, but they're selling like hotcakes. See them at Costco. They're at Roblox gift cards. They're at the fucking supermarket.
They're in the I know nothing about you display.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. I know nothing about you.
No, I know nothing about you, but I have to get you a gift display.
Texas Roadhouse, movie theater, this and that, and now Roblox. So,
you know,
because people want to buy their virtual fucking horse shit.
I think Rich would really enjoy a gift card to Macaroni Grill.
You know what, Spot?
He likes
love
pasta.
I love average pasta.
He likes pasta. Covino,
anyway,
he's Mexican. He'll love chilies.
Everyone have a great Way Back Wednesday. Enjoy your Wednesday. We're 2.5 weeks till Christmas.
We should sell my nuts as an NFT.
I
If
know,
you really want to hang it in your fucking metaverse, You got to buy that shit.
But the reality, though, is that last statement I said just sort of is defining of today's whole stupid show.
Absolutely.
Gift cards and cash, they said, are being replaced by NFTs and crypto as a holiday present to, instead of giving like your nephew, like, hey, here's a $50 gift card, $20 gift card to
like
Starbucks.
Today's savings bond.
It's almost like, here, I bought, the way your grandma would be like, here's a $50 savings bond.
Think about that.
Here's
you know,
$50
here's
of
a
crypto.
fucking piece of paper that's supposed to
I feel sorry
gain lots of money in the future.
as we move forward. Kids writing down their fucking wallet addresses for their parents.
Honestly, Spot.
Here's my fucking crypto
Honestly,
wallet.
Spot. It's really
0x891b lowercase e.
bro.
This
G.
is supposed to gain
Honestly, what you just said made the most sense.
money
Let's
in
end
the
on
future.
that.
And
Let's end on that. The same way your grandma would be like, "It's your birthday. Here's $100 savings."
and how much
bond.
did those add up to?
I
Really,
bought my first.
nothing.
I bought my first car with my
Really,
savings
mine
bonds.
didn't add up to shit by the time I cashed them all.
Every birthday,
still have
Christmas,
mine.
every birthday, Christmas, and
I gotta
Easter,
do
my
something with
grandmother
this.
would give me like $100 bond, and I used that money to help buy my first car.
I still have my birth bonds. I gotta cash those in.
They don't expire?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're just harder to cash in.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't buy a property. Buy more birth bonds. Come on.
Money.
All right. Well, anyway, have fun. And by the way, just a side note. I know we're done. It's getting late. For people that follow along and they're friends of the show, you know my buddy Chris, who is the inventor of Santa's Enchanted Mailbox?
Oh, yeah. Are we giving any away this year?
We can if you want.
Let's do it.
But here's the fun of it. He is going to be on Shark Tank this Friday.
I'm so stoked for him.
That's awesome.
I'm excited
That's
for
fucking
him.
amazing.
So
We've been talking about that shit for years. That's really cool, and I love that show. So
Santa's Enchanted Mailbox. He posted some videos and pictures already on his social media. My buddy Chris Seary, Cirri, Chris Seary. He's the inventor.
Well, it airs Friday, right?
It airs Friday, the holiday episode, and then he just got noticed that not only does it air Friday, it's going to be on Shark Tank's New Year's Christmas Eve special also. So he gets a double doozy of Shark Tank.
Wow,
And I said,
they're
"Yo,
not
dude."
going to have enough inventory.
I was
They're
like,
not.
I was
They're
like,
oh,
man,
we
I'm
sold
happy for you.
out.
So you heard it here first.
That's
our
awesome.
Our buddy Chris, he would give them away to you guys. We do contests, and it was his little invention he came up with. And pretty cool. One of your good buds is on Shark Tank. Like, I'm really happy for him and his wife.
I think it's one of the best shows on TV, and he's a great guy, so it's cool.
So
Happy for him.
Enjoy your NFTs, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow on a Throwback Thursday.
Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.